In a tense classroom at Jiangcheng No. 2 High School, a chalkboard announces just 1 day left until the unified exam. The class teacher, Chen Fan, gives final instructions. He tells students taking the liberal arts exam to prepare the IR stationery and gives a more serious reminder to those taking the martial arts exam to prepare the IR combat gear and weapons. Teacher Chen Fan then warns about the deadly risk of the martial arts college entrance exam. He strongly advises any student with an awakened ability below D level not to take it. From his seat, a student named Xu Jingming smirks, feeling the teacher's warning is directed at him. He thinks to himself that he has transmigrated into this world, called Blue Star. It is technologically similar to his old one, but it is also inhabited by ferocious, bloodthirsty beasts. To counter this, some humans have awakened superpowers. In this world, people can awaken various abilities at age 16, which are rated on a scale from F to S. However, the majority of people only awaken skills between F and D. As he considers his own power, a small flash of lightning appears. He reveals that his ability is an E-grade weak electricity, and he notes with disappointment that its power is only comparable to a simple stun baton. As Xu Jingming reflects, a blonde-haired classmate, Huang Tian, taps on his desk. He mockingly asks if Xu Jingming still plans to take the martial arts exam, calling him E-grade trash, who would only shame the school. Huang Tian suggests Xu Jingming should just choose liberal arts and offers him a future as a small clerk in his company. Before Xu Jingming can answer, a female classmate, Lin Qingli, stands up and tells Huang Tian to mind his own business. Annoyed, Huang Tian scoffs at her and promises to show her who is best during the exam. As he walks away, he glances back and adds a cruel remark, predicting Xu Jingming will die on the exam grounds. After Huang Tian leaves, Lin Qingli turns to Xu Jingming with concern. She advises him to ignore Huang Tian's words and suggests that switching to liberal arts might not be a bad option. Xu Jingming listens to her silently, his expression unreadable. Lost in thought, Xu Jingming looks at his Great Xia Unified Exam Registration Form. The form lists his E-level elemental ability. In the Great Xia Kingdom, education is split into liberal arts and martial arts. Those with low-level abilities can choose liberal arts for an ordinary life. The martial arts path is far more dangerous. Students must enter a designated area and fight fierce beasts to the death to pass. Only by surviving can one hope to enter an ability user university. There, with years of training, even an unranked person can become a truly powerful ability user. Xu Jingming understands why his teacher and Lin Qingli are worried. He knows they fear what might happen if he takes the exam. However, he also recognizes that he cannot escape the constant threat of the beasts. This thought triggers a painful memory of a beast tide from his past, where he knelt as a child crying over the lifeless bodies of his parents. The memory strengthens his resolve. He doesn't want to be powerless again. With determination, he holds up his registration form and firmly declares that he will still choose the martial arts exam. As the sun sets, Xu Jingming is in a training hall, practicing relentlessly with a long spear. He channels his electrical ability into the weapon, causing blue lightning to crackle along its length. With a cry, he executes a powerful swing. The intense training quickly leaves him drained. He lets out a large yawn, complaining about how tired he is, and then collapses onto the floor, his spear falling beside him. Lying on the ground, Xu Jingming thinks about his training. He has been practicing with the spear for 2.5 years. Despite his efforts, his proficiency is still at a beginner level. He bought a spear technique called Lightning Gale Break for 300,000, which he believes makes him a little stronger than other ordinary E-class awakened ones. As he lies there, a grim thought crosses his mind. He knows the death rate for students below D class in the exam is increasing every year. This thought strengthens his resolve. To get into an awakened university, he must be prepared to fight with everything he has. He pushes himself up and approaches a machine, clenching his fist. As his hand nears the machine's panel, a blue holographic interface suddenly materializes, displaying "System Activating." Xu Jingming's eyes widen in shock as he tries to comprehend what is happening. The system's activation finishes, and a new message asks if he wants to claim the newbie gift package. Still on the floor, he realizes this could be the legendary cheat system for transmigrators. His shock turns into excitement. A wide grin spreads across his face as he wonders what the gift package contains. The system immediately reveals the contents: an S-rank super ability and 200 ability points. He is momentarily speechless. An S-rank ability is exceedingly rare. In a major country like Xiahua, a person with one is instantly recruited by top universities and cultivated into a powerhouse. Xu Jingming is stunned by his unbelievable fortune. The revelation fills him with hope. He realizes that even though he was born as E-rank trash, this system gives him a chance to change his destiny. With a determined grin, he reaches out his hand, crackling with his old weak electricity, and says, "Claim," accepting the gift without hesitation. Immediately, 3 system windows appear. The newbie gift package is claimed, 200 ability points are credited, and the system begins distributing his new S-rank ability, Purple Cloud, Thunder, God's Lightning. The power surges directly into his heart. The process is incredibly painful. An immense power erupts from within him as violent purple lightning surges through his body, tearing his shirt. A progress bar appears, slowly climbing as the energy explodes outwards, shattering the interior of the room. The blast is so powerful it blows out the apartment window. The commotion is noticed on the street below. A woman points up at the strange energy, and her child asks what is happening. A young man frantically makes a phone call, urging someone to call the fire department for the Shu family's child. Inside, Xu Jingming writhes in agony as the integration continues past 50%. On the streets, people look up as the sky turns dark and ominous. Above the apartment, a colossal dragon formed of crackling blue lightning materializes. The event attracts powerful individuals. A man in a high-rise wonders if a powerful beast is invading. Elsewhere, a military commander orders Jiang Cheng's 3rd Legion to high alert. Back at the apartment, the lightning dragon swirls in the sky before diving back down, funneling its immense energy into Xu Jingming's body. Xu Jingming lets out a final scream as the system's progress bar jumps to 100%. The light and pain fade, replaced by a simple message: ability transformation complete. The overwhelming energy subsides, leaving Xu Jingming in his devastated training room. He slowly clenches his fist, feeling the immense power he now commands. Potent blue and purple electricity crackles around his hand. A confident grin spreads across his face. He recognizes this S-rank ability is on a completely different level. He thinks his old ability was like an electric baton, but this new power feels strong enough to shatter a person with one strike. His excitement is lessened as he sees the destruction. The windows are shattered and the walls are cracked. He thinks the commotion was a bit too large and feels relieved he managed to control some of the energy. He then remembers the other part of his reward, 200 ability points. He wonders aloud what they are for as he touches the system interface. The system explains that ability points are obtained by killing fierce beasts and can be used to increase his levels and skills. A mischievous grin returns to his face. He expresses his delight at the simple cheat system and tells it to open the system panel. A detailed status screen appears, displaying his new profile, his name, his level as an unranked awakened, his new S-rank ability, Purple Heaven Divine Thunder, and his 200 available ability points. With the unified exam just 1 day away, Xu Jingming's eyes glow. He knows he must use these 200 points wisely to maximize his combat power. Lightning crackles around his hand as he tells the system to allocate the points for him. Xu Jingming decides to use his points logically, reasoning that all abilities come from the human body and spirit. He chooses to strengthen these 2 attributes first. As the system processes the points, his stats for physique and spirit quickly increase. A surge of dark purple energy erupts and swirls around him. He looks slightly dazed, marveling at the feeling of his vital energy and thoughts being enhanced. Clenching his fist, he feels the new power inside him. He throws a test punch, and a vortex of blue and purple lightning explodes from his fist, a display of power far beyond what he could do before. He looks at his hand, surrounded by crackling energy, and understands that by raising his basic attributes, his control over his combat skills and powers will also be stronger. The system panel confirms the upgrade, showing his physique is now 141 and his spirit is 160. It explains that each ability point was equal to 0.2 units of vital energy, or spirit energy. A confident grin spreads across his face. He believes that with his current strength, getting into an Awakener University will be easy, but he wonders how he now compares to the other 700,000 candidates in the province, especially the geniuses trained since childhood. Deciding to find out, he kicks his spear up from the rubble on the floor. As he catches it and slings it over his shoulder, he resolves to go to the martial arts hall to test his new power levels. As he prepares to leave, his apartment door is suddenly kicked open. A team of 3 firefighters bursts in, ready to fight a fire, leaving Xu Jingming stunned. The lead firefighter, looking confused by the lack of a fire, explains they received a call about a fire at this location. Standing in the wrecked room, Xu Jingming calmly explains that the commotion was caused by his ability training, and that everything is now fine. The lead firefighter accepts the explanation, knowing that incidents with awakened individuals are common. He radios his team to fall back. As he leaves, he looks back at Xu Jingming with admiration, thinking how formidable the younger generation is to cause such a commotion just by practicing. Shortly after, the fire truck drives away. As Xu Jingming, now in his school uniform and carrying his spear, walks down the street, a neighbor he calls Uncle Yang asks if he is okay after the fire. Xu Jingming reassures him everything is under control. Noticing the spear, the neighbor praises him for being so diligent, practicing even with the exam the next day. The story then explains that martial arts halls are important in this world. To advance, an awakened person must train their physique and spirit. The halls provide training grounds, which are essential since not every family can afford a private training room. The two most famous martial arts hall chains are Thunder and Brutal Bear. Xu Jingming arrives at the Thunder Martial Arts Hall. The narration explains that the Brutal Bear Hall is expensive, mainly for students from rich families. The Thunder Hall, however, is free for all high school students, making it very popular. Inside the busy hall, Xu Jingming sees a familiar face in a group of students. The girl, with long black hair and red eyes, is Tang Qi, his cousin. He approaches her and asks why she is at the Thunder Hall. Surprised to see him, Tang Qi replies that she just came with a friend. Xu Jingming politely excuses himself, telling Tang Qi and her friends to continue their visit while he heads to the training room. As he walks away, Tang Qi watches him, thinking he seems a bit different. Her cheerful friend, Xiaoya, is immediately taken by Xu Jingming's appearance, calling him handsome and asking Tang Qi who he is. Tang Qi explains he is her cousin, Xu Jingming, also a third-year student taking the martial arts exam tomorrow. Xiaoya swoons, saying he would make a great boyfriend. A male friend teases her for falling in love, and she enthusiastically agrees. Hearing this, Tang Qi decides to bring her friend back to reality. She reveals that Xu Jingming's awakened ability is only E rank. The news shatters Xiaoya's fantasy, and she cries out what a pity it is. The male friend smirks, commenting that it's commendable for someone with an E-rank ability to take the martial arts exam. Tang Qi, however, looks worried, saying courage is meaningless when the risk is so high. Changing the subject, Tang Qi reminds the group they are there to visit the hall. Xiaoya agrees, mentioning she's spent all of high school at the expensive Brutal Bear Hall and suggests relaxing before the big exam is a good idea. Meanwhile, Xu Jingming finds an empty training room. He stands before a large, round target with his spear. As he grips it, he notices it feels much lighter. He realizes the spear hasn't changed. His own body has become much stronger. He considers that this old weapon might not be suitable anymore, but with the exam tomorrow, there's no time to find a new one. He decides to first test his peak physical strength without his lightning ability. He takes a deep breath, tightens his grip, and thrusts the spear forward. The weapon slams into the center of the target with incredible force. The strike leaves a spiderweb of cracks in the advanced training target. A digital display above it flashes the number 321. The room's equipment is made from a special memory metal, allowing it to automatically repair itself. Xu Jingming is astonished. His pure physical strength has doubled. He knows the strongest output for a normal, unranked awakened is only around 100 calories, making his base strength exceptional. Satisfied, he decides to try his new S-rank ability. His eyes glow blue as he prepares to channel the purple heaven's divine thunder. Arcs of purple and blue lightning crackle around his body. With a powerful leap, he brings his spear down on the target, creating a massive explosion of electrical energy. He looks up at the new reading, an incredible 3,021 calories. Xu Jingming is thrilled by how powerful his S-rank ability is. The standard for a first-tier awakened is only 1,000 calories. The fact that he, still unranked, can unleash an attack comparable to a mid-tier first-tier awakened shows his new potential. But he isn't done. With lightning still crackling around him, he declares that this is not his limit. He decides to use his true killer move, a technique stacking his enhanced strength, his ability, and his combat skills into one strike. He channels all his energy into the spear, which becomes covered in intense purple lightning. He swings the spear in a wide arc. As the spearhead nears the target, the lightning condenses into a single, bright sphere of power. With a fierce cry of "break," he unleashes the attack. The spear connects, resulting in a massive explosion of purple energy that completely engulfs the target. The force of the attack sends a shockwave through the entire martial arts hall. In the main stadium, students are shaken, with one crying out, wondering if it was an earthquake. On the training room floor, Tang Qi, Xiaoya, and their friends are thrown off balance. The male friend recognizes the powerful energy fluctuations, stating they are on the level of a true awakener. They wonder if a new Awakener-level high school student has just appeared since all the known ones train at the other hall. Driven by curiosity, Tang Chi says they should go see. The group follows the trail of energy down the corridor. As they turn a corner, they come face to face with Xu Jingming, who is leaving the area with his spearhead now wrapped in a cloth. Tang Chi calls out to him, surprised to see him there. Xu Jingming calmly says he is heading home to prepare for the exam, giving no hint of the power he just used. His friend wishes him luck but dismissively tells the group to forget him, pointing to the training room Xu Jingming just left, saying the energy came from there. The group approaches the door. Peeking inside, they see a scene of total devastation. The advanced memory metal target has been completely destroyed, and the reinforced wall behind it is a massive crater of rubble. The entire room is a wreck. Tang Chi, Xiaoya, and the others can only stare in pure shock, unable to comprehend the level of destructive power that was just unleashed in a high school training room. Staring at the destruction, Xiaoya exclaims that even the advanced memory metal was blasted through, which would require an incredibly intense attack. She wonders if any high school student in their city of Jiangcheng is actually that powerful. The brown-haired male friend dismisses the idea. Touching the crater's edge, he says the residual energy feels too violent for a high school student. He theorizes it was a powerful second-order ability user who mistakenly entered the student-level floor. Another friend agrees, adding that even a genius from the provincial capital couldn't do this, making it impossible for such a person to be in their small city. Xiaoya, however, suggests a different theory. She points out that the only person they saw nearby was Xu Jingming and excitedly suggests he might be a hidden super genius. Her friends ridicule the idea, with one asking if she's been reading too many novels. The other points out that Xu Jingming is a known E-class user who would be lucky to have an attack strength of 300. Her friend offers a more logical explanation, suggesting the powerful user simply left through the other corridor. He then turns to Tang Chi, who has been silent, and asks for her opinion. Tang Chi simply answers, "Maybe," stepping forward to inspect the damage. As she runs her hand along the shattered wall, she notices the impact marks look like they were left by a long spear. The image of her cousin with his spear flashes in her mind. A deep suspicion forms, and she silently wonders if Xu Jingming taking the martial arts exam is really him overestimating his abilities. The next day is clear and bright, the day of the martial arts exam. Dozens of buses arrive at a massive, fortified venue, dropping off students armed with various weapons. Among them is Xu Jingming, walking with a calm and confident stride, his spear on his shoulder. The students gather by a tall fence, looking into the exam grounds with a mix of awe and terror. One student complains nervously, recalling that past exams had much weaker beasts. The consensus is that this year's exam will be incredibly difficult. As the students share their fears, an arrogant voice cuts through the crowd. A long-haired young man with a large sword scoffs at their cowardice. He declares that anyone who can't deal with a unicorn rhinoceros is useless, leaving the other students speechless. Nearby, Xu Jingming's best friend, Liu Ji, asks who the arrogant guy is. Xu Jingming identifies him as Zhou Mingyang. Liu Ji explains that Zhou Mingyang is a well-known genius with a B-class ability who has already advanced to become a first-order ability user, a rare feat for a high school student. Xu Jingming looks at the prodigy with a confident smile and a competitive glint in his eye, silently wondering who is stronger. Suddenly, a loud voice calls for the candidate's attention. A stern-looking man with a scar, dressed in a military-style uniform, introduces himself as Wang Haiyang, the chief commander of the exam. He says that before the exam begins, he will review the important precautions. Standing on a military vehicle, Commander Wang Haiyang announces the exam will last 12 hours, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. He gestures to the vast, ruined town that serves as the exam venue. He explains that it is divided into 4 zones: outer, central, inner, and core. Students earn points by killing beasts, with the score increasing based on the beast's rank and strength. The commander's expression turns grave as he gives his final warning. He says the core area is like a bonus question, meant only for the top students. He urges everyone to act according to their abilities and not foolishly risk their lives for a higher score. Listening to the commander, Xu Jingming reflects on his own abilities. Before his power-up, he would have been limited to the outer area, but now, filled with power and ambition, he is determined to charge deep into the inner circle, and perhaps even challenge the core area. An announcement is made for students to get their exam supplies. Xu Jingming and his friend approach their teacher, Chen Fan, who is handing out tactical backpacks. Xu Jingming receives his pack, which contains a smartwatch for tracking points, a backpack with energy bars, a drink, and a medical kit, and a safety ball that can create a high-voltage grid to ward off beasts. As teacher Chen Fan hands Xu Jingming his supplies, he offers one last piece of advice. He reminds Xu Jingming that his life is more important than anything, even if using the safety ball ends the exam early. Xu Jingming respectfully thanks his teacher. Just then, a familiar voice calls his name. He turns to see his classmate, Lin Qingli, running towards him. She kindly offers him a spot on her team. With her is their class president, Liu Qin, a C-class user who says he will protect Xu Jingming in the exam hall. However, another student objects, arguing that the exam is a serious competition. He complains that taking on an E-rank student like Xu Jingming will hurt their chances of getting a high score. Another teammate angrily agrees, accusing Liu Qin of changing their plan. The two objectors make it clear they don't want to be saddled with a burden. The insults infuriate Xu Jingming's friend, Liu Ji, but Xu Jingming calmly holds him back. With a polite smile, Xu Jingming declines the offer. He tells Liu Qin and Lin Qingli that he appreciates their kindness, but plans to go in alone. A concerned Lin Qingli reluctantly accepts his decision, urging him to be careful. The student who had complained smirks and suggests they go find the powerful Huang Tian to team up with instead, letting out a mocking laugh as they walk away. Xu Jingming watches them go with a confident smirk of his own, thinking that he is more than capable of getting a high score by himself. An announcement rings out, declaring the official start of the exam. A fleet of drones swarms into the sky, ready to live broadcast the event. The massive gates open, and a flood of students charges into the ruined city, shouting their goals. Among the crowd are Tang Qi and her friends, a determined-looking girl with a large sword, and the top contender, Zhou Mingyang, who uses his wind ability to leap ahead of the pack. In contrast, Xu Jingming remains calm. He takes a single step, then breaks into a steady run, his spear in hand, thinking that the exam has finally arrived and he is ready. As he runs, he taps his smartwatch. A holographic screen confirms his identity and displays the real-time rankings. The top 3 spots are already filled, with Zhou Mingyang in first place with 7 points, followed by 2 other students. Xu Jingming looks at the leaderboard with a confident smirk. He notes that Zhou Mingyang has already started killing beasts, but the early lead only fuels his own competitive spirit. While others fight in the outer sections, Xu Jingming decides on a bolder strategy. He resolves to waste no time and head straight for the high-risk, high-reward core area. As he moves deeper into the ruined city, he suddenly stops. Ahead, he discovers a gruesome scene: the lifeless body of another student in a pool of blood. Beside the body is an unused green safety ball, showing how fast the attack must have been. Xu Jingming is disturbed by the sight. He realizes the student didn't even have a chance to activate his last defense. The grim reality of the exam hits him, and he understands the weight behind his teacher's and the commander's warnings. He thinks that if he hadn't received his S-class ability yesterday, he could have easily ended up in the same state. Steeling his resolve, he accepts the brutal nature of the exam. He kneels beside the fallen student and uses the boy's smartwatch to call for the body to be retrieved. He reflects that opportunities always come with risks. Suddenly, he hears a noise nearby. From the shadows of a ruined building, a large clawed paw silently appears. A moment later, a ferocious shadow cat with glowing purple eyes emerges. Xu Jingming instantly realizes the horrifying truth. The beasts had left the dead student as bait. It's a trap, and the beast lunges towards him. Despite the shadow cat's terrifying lunge, Xu Jingming remains perfectly calm. The beast growls menacingly as it pounces with incredible speed, its shadowy claws extended. But Xu Jingming is even faster. With a fluid, casual movement, he sidesteps the attack, letting the beast fly past him. The shadow cat lands gracefully, its glowing purple eyes locked on its prey. Its reputation is well earned. With an agile body, sharp claws, and a bite force of over 1,000 kilograms, it is a deserved newbie killer. It lets out a ferocious roar, trying to intimidate Xu Jingming. As he faces the beast, Xu Jingming thinks about what makes these creatures so dangerous. He knows fierce beasts have a special, terrifying aura that can paralyze their prey with fear. He's heard that most awakened people, when facing a fierce beast for the first time, become helpless under this pressure, unable to use even 30% of their strength as they wait to be killed. He thinks about how wealthy families hire bodyguards to take their children into the wilderness, to get them used to this aura from a young age, a privilege he never had. Knowing this is his first true battle against a fierce beast, he readies his spear as the shadow cat lunges at him again. The beast closes the distance instantly, its mouth wide open, but Xu Jingming stands his ground, completely unaffected. Arcs of purple lightning crackle along his spear as he channels his power. In a single, swift motion, he thrusts the spear forward, the lightning-infused tip piercing through the shadow cat's head and killing it instantly. He looks down at the dead creature with a thoughtful expression. He realizes the beast's intimidating aura had no effect on him. A moment later, a blue holographic window appears from his smartwatch, confirming the kill. Killed one unranked fierce beast, a shadow cat. Ability points, +3. A note explains that fierce beasts are ranked from 1 to 9, and those below rank 1 are unranked, corresponding to unranked human awakened people. Xu Jingming looks at the map of the venue on his watch. He considers that killing beasts grants him ability points, but he seems unimpressed by the small reward, thinking that unranked beasts give far too few points. Realizing he is unaffected by the intimidating aura of fierce beasts, Xu Jingming concludes there is little point wasting time in the outer area. He resolves to get to the more dangerous central area as quickly as possible. He begins his journey deeper into the exam venue, cutting a bloody path through the unranked beasts. He effortlessly kills shadow cats, iron-furred pigs, and wolf-like creatures, gaining a steady 3 to 5 ability points with each kill. However, he identifies a flaw in his approach. While he has gained ability points, he recognizes that he lacks actual combat experience. His new S-rank ability is so overwhelmingly powerful that it kills unranked beasts instantly, preventing him from honing his fighting skills. He also considers the high energy cost of his new power. He knows higher-ranked abilities consume more energy. Unlike his old E-rank ability that could last for hours, he can't maintain his S-rank power at full strength for even an hour. With the exam lasting 12 hours, he understands he cannot waste energy before reaching the core area. He decides on a new strategy. He will kill fierce beasts using only his spear technique to gain experience and conserve power. Just as he makes this decision, a new, much larger threat appears, a formidable bipedal unicorn rhinoceros. The massive beast roars and charges, tossing a wrecked car aside with its immense strength. Instead of retreating, Xu Jingming stands his ground and faces the charge head-on. The powerful impact of the rhino's horn sends him flying backward. With incredible agility, Xu Jingming uses the momentum to flip himself in mid-air, positioning himself directly above the beast. Before the rhino can react, he dives down, landing on its back and plunging his spear deep into its skull with a single precise strike. The massive beast collapses, defeated. Breathing slightly, Xu Jingming is surprised by how much faster his killing speed has become, noting that even a powerful beast like the rhinoceros wasn't much of a challenge. A thought strikes him, and he wonders if his spear technique broke through to a higher level without him realizing it. He summons his system panel, which confirms his suspicion. His spear technique has leveled up to the intermediate stage, and his ability points have risen to 256. He concludes that relying on his spear technique is the most effective way to boost his strength. Feeling how fluid the intermediate technique is, he wonders what would happen if he improved it further. Using his accumulated points, he decides to upgrade his spear skill again. The effect is instant. A massive influx of advanced spear techniques and complex movements floods his mind, integrating into his muscle memory. He clutches his head, amazed by the sheer volume of skill he just acquired. With a wealth of new techniques, Xu Jingming feels a surge of confidence. Gripping his spear, he stands tall amidst the ruins with a predatory smile. He declares that he can't wait to find a first-rank, fierce beast to test his new skills on. At the same time, in another part of the outer area, Lin Qingli and her team are moving through the streets. Suddenly, Lin Qingli stops, puzzled. In the distance, she thought she saw a familiar silhouette. She voices her thought, saying she thinks she just saw Xu Jingming. One of her teammates dismisses the idea, asking if she's seeing things. He argues it couldn't be Xu Jingming, as it would be suicide for someone with his E-rank strength to be this deep into the exam zone. Lin Qingli is filled with doubt, but can't shake the feeling that she saw her classmate. She begins to worry about him. Her thoughts are interrupted when another teammate calls them over. The group rushes to find him standing before the massive, freshly killed corpse of the unicorn rhinoceros. They see that the blood on its wounds isn't dry, meaning it was killed just minutes ago. They examine the fatal injury, a clean, penetrating wound to the head made by a long-handled weapon. One of them exclaims that it's a spear wound. The pieces click together in Lin Qingli's mind. The spear wound, the timing, and the silhouette all point to one conclusion. She wonders aloud if the person she saw could really have been Xu Jingming. The skeptical teammate scoffs at the suggestion. arguing that a unicorn rhinoceros is a beast that only a C-rank awakened person could defeat alone. To settle the argument, another teammate suggests they check the score rankings. Without hesitation, Lin Qingli activates the leaderboard on her smartwatch. As the rankings appear, her eyes widen in shock. There, in 46th place with 256 points, is Xu Jingming, Zhangcheng Second High School. She exclaims that it really is him. Her teammates are speechless, their faces showing pure disbelief. They refuse to accept that the E-rank student they look down on is now in the top 50, speculating it must be someone with the same name. They are left questioning everything, unable to comprehend the situation. Meanwhile, far from the battlefield, officials and VIPs watch the exam on large screens. One spectator comments on the predictable strength of the first high school, which dominates the top 10 ranks. They single out Zhou Mingyang, ranked first with 412 points, who seems to have secured the title of Jiangcheng's top student. Another official wonders if he can become a provincial top 100 student, a feat no one from their city has achieved in years. Among the officials is Zhang Wenshan, the director of the Jiangcheng Education Bureau. With a self-satisfied smile, he agrees that Zhou Mingyang is their city's ace and expresses confidence that he will break into the provincial top 100. He then turns to the principals of the first and third high schools, praising their institutions. The principals humbly thank the director. While praising the top schools, Director Zhang Wenshan turns to the principal of the second high school, Zhao Yao. He condescendingly tells him that his school needs to work harder, noting their best student is only ranked 18th. The principal sweats nervously, bowing and stammering his agreement. Principal Zhao Yao is inwardly fuming. He knows that among the top 50 students, only 8 are from his school. He mentally lists his top students, including Xu Jingming, urging them to get their act together. A moment later, he pauses. The name Xu Jingming doesn't sound familiar. He wonders aloud who this student is and why he's never seen the name before. He turns to the teacher beside him, who is Chen Fan, and asks about Xu Jingming. Upon hearing that his supposedly weakest student is in the top 50, teacher Chen Fan has a jaw-dropping reaction of pure shock. He takes a moment to compose himself, wiping sweat from his brow. He recalls that Xu Jingming is an E-rank awakened and wonders if the boy had been hiding his true strength, but he dismisses the thought as impossible. He looks up at the monitors in frustration, realizing that since only the top 10 students have dedicated camera feeds, there is no way for him to see how Xu Jingming is accumulating so many points. Meanwhile, back in the exam venue, Xu Jingming has pushed through the outer area and arrived at the central area, a zone with a much higher danger level. He walks calmly through the streets, crushing a bottle underfoot. Taking a moment to eat an energy bar, he observes that the number of fierce beasts has decreased. He knows this is because ranked beasts have developed intelligence and a sense of territory, making them more difficult opponents. Suddenly, his sharp senses pick something up. His eyes narrow as he announces that his target has arrived. An instant later, a powerful striped beast bursts through a pile of wrecked cars. The creature is a first-rank fierce beast, an arm-blade tiger named for the sharp, blade-like bones on its forelimbs. Xu Jingming stands his ground, unfazed. He remarks on his good luck, pleased to have encountered a first-rank beast so soon. With a confident and eager expression, he readies his spear, declaring that this powerful opponent is the perfect test for his newly upgraded spear technique. The arm-blade tiger lets out a ferocious roar and lunges, its powerful claws ready to attack. Xu Jingming remains calm and composed, holding his spear defensively. With a graceful spin, he deflects the tiger's initial pounce, expertly parrying the beast's attack with the shaft of his spear. The force of the blow causes the tiger to recoil slightly. Xu Jingming, however, seems completely unimpressed. With a confident smirk, he mockingly asks if this is all the power a first-tier beast has, musing that it would take a Tiger King to make him use more effort. His taunt enrages the beast. Declaring that he is sending it on its way, Xu Jingming goes on the offensive. He leaps forward with incredible speed, his spear becoming a blur as he lands a clean, deep strike on the tiger's shoulder, drawing blood. The beast roars in pain and fury, but Xu Jingming gives it no time to recover, maintaining his calm, focused stance. His attack has only enraged the first-rank beast further. Its eyes begin to glow with a menacing teal light. It rises up on its hind legs, towering over Xu Jingming, and lets out a deafening roar as it prepares to unleash its full power. The arm-blade tiger brings its massive, bladed paws down in a devastating swipe. Xu Jingming, showing incredible reflexes, dodges the attack and uses the momentum to swing himself around a nearby lamppost, avoiding the deadly claws and setting himself up for a powerful counterattack. Landing gracefully after his acrobatic move, Xu Jingming acknowledges the tenacity of the first-tier beast. He can see that despite its injuries, the arm-blade tiger still wants to put up a desperate struggle. Deciding to end the fight, he declares that any further resistance is futile. He begins to channel his spear technique, lightning gale break, and a vortex of blue energy swirls around his weapon. With a powerful war cry, he unleashes the technique. His body becomes a blur as he executes a devastating spinning attack, the energy from his spear creating multiple slashing arcs of light. The attack connects, and the tiger lets out a final, agonized cry as the powerful technique tears through its body. The massive beast collapses to the ground, defeated. A notification immediately appears on Xu Jingming's smartwatch, confirming the kill of a first-tier armored tiger and awarding him 14 ability points. He notes with satisfaction that the points from a first-tier beast are almost double what he gets from an unranked one. A new perspective dawns on him. He realizes that while the exam hall is a place of danger for others, for him, it is a perfect treasure ground to level up. With renewed determination, he vows to harvest as many ability points as he can by hunting the most powerful beasts. Back in the audience stands, the atmosphere is tense as officials and teachers watch the live rankings. The leaderboard shows Xu Jingming is now tied for 32nd place with 328 points. An official turns to teacher Chen Fan, asking if this surprising student is from his class. Suddenly, Chen Fan is the center of attention. Other teachers praise him, marveling that only students from his class have broken into the top 50 from their school. They compliment his teaching methods. A flustered Chen Fan humbly deflects the praise, insisting it is all due to the student's own hard work. Their conversation is cut short when someone shouts and points at the screen. Xu Jingming's ranking has skyrocketed again, jumping to number 25. One official exclaims in disbelief that he somehow gained 44 points at once. Director Zhang Wenshan mentally calculates the point values, recalling that a peak unranked beast is worth 6 tier 8 points, while a low-grade first-tier beast is worth 14 to 16 points. Principal Zhao Yao continues the thought, his face pale with shock. He remembers that the kill count updates every 4 seconds, and an impossible realization begins to form in his mind. Director Zhang Wenshan completes the stunning calculation. Within a mere 4 seconds, Xu Jingming must have killed either 5 peak unranked beasts or 3 low-grade first-tier beasts. A pleased smile spreads across his face as he remarks that this kind of performance hasn't been seen in years. He turns to Principal Zhao Yao and comments that this student is a very good prospect, asking why he has never heard of him. The principal, still flustered, admits he has only just found out about Xu Jingming himself and says they will have to ask the boy's homeroom teacher. He immediately summons a nervous teacher Chen Fan, telling him to explain Xu Jingming's situation to the leaders, specifically asking about his talent. Standing before the city's top education officials, a sweating Chen Fan stammers out the unbelievable truth. Xu Jingming awakened an E-grade ability. Weak electricity. The principal is incredulous, asking if Chen Fan is certain he hasn't remembered incorrectly. Chen Fan insists that he is sure. He adds that he specifically advised Xu Jingming not to participate in the exam due to his low-rank ability. Director Zhang Wenshan listens with growing curiosity. He deduces that for a student with only an E-grade ability to get this far, he must have other outstanding qualities. This mystery piques his interest. He decides to wait, confidently predicting that with Xu Jingming's momentum, he should soon break into the top 10. At that point, they will get a dedicated camera feed and will finally understand how he is doing this. He adds a stern warning, however, that if the student is cheating, there will be consequences. Just as he finishes speaking, both teacher Chen Fan and Principal Zhao Yao's eyes go wide with shock. A new update appears on the leaderboard. Xu Jingming has done the impossible and broken into the top 10, now at 9th place. Just below him, at number 12, is his cousin, Tang Qi. Elsewhere in the exam hall, Tang Qi, now with cat-like ears and a tail, sits atop a defeated beast. She looks off into the distance with a knowing smile, now certain her cousin was the one who caused the destruction at the martial arts hall. The top-ranked student, Zhou Mingyang, also notices the new name on the leaderboard. He notes with some surprise that, with 6 hours still left, a new face has squeezed into the top 10. He thinks to himself that he has never heard of Xu Jingming before. Because he is in the top 10, a dedicated camera drone is sent to follow Xu Jingming. The feed shows him effortlessly killing another first-tier beast with his spear. As the beast falls, a notification awards him another 14 points. He comments to himself that the efficiency of killing beasts is much higher in the central area. He then notices the drone and realizes he must have entered the top 10. Standing over his latest kill, Xu Jingming reflects on the nature of the exam. He understands it's a test of strength and potential, where better results lead to greater recognition. With this in mind, he decides he has no reason to hide his true power, declaring that breaking into the top 10 is just the beginning. Before challenging the core area, he decides to improve his strength again. He checks his system panel, which shows his spear technique is now at the advanced level, and he has 312 ability points. He notes with some disappointment that his level hasn't automatically promoted from awakened. He deduces that the only way to advance to a true ability user is by learning a specific cultivation method, which he cannot do during the exam. Since he can't increase his rank, he decides to continue improving his basic attributes. He spends some points, boosting his physique by 40 and his spirit by 22. Feeling a surge of new power, he clenches his fist, ready to finally head to the core area. He soon arrives at the entrance to the core area, where the danger level is highest. He is greeted by a brutal scene, a pack of 9 armored tigers devouring the corpse of a large, rhino-like beast. From a safe distance, Xu Jingming observes the pack. He quickly identifies the one in the middle, which is larger and has a more powerful aura, as the armored Tiger King. Far from being intimidated, he sees this as a great harvest of points waiting for him. Just as he prepares to move, he senses another presence. He calls out, telling the hidden person to come out. From behind a corner, Zhou Mingyang emerges, looking impressed. He compliments Xu Jingming on his sharp perception and admits he didn't expect the mysterious student who broke into the top 10 to be him. Xu Jingming recognizes the top-ranked student and asks how Zhou Mingyang knew who he was. Zhou Mingyang explains that he is familiar with every strong candidate who could enter the core area. Since Xu Jingming was an unknown who rose through the ranks, he naturally deduced his identity. Zhou Mingyang then reveals he has been watching the tiger pack and prepares to draw his sword. Xu Jingming immediately becomes wary, asking if he intends to steal his monster. Zhou Mingyang clarifies that he has no intention of stealing the kill. He explains that the armored Tiger King is a powerful mid-grade first-tier beast, and with its pack of 9 other tigers, it's an opponent no single person can handle alone. He proposes they cooperate to take down the pack. However, Xu Jingming flatly rejects the offer with 2 simple words: no need. With a look of absolute confidence, he declares that he is more than enough by himself. Dismissing Zhou Mingyang's offer, Xu Jingming confidently steps out into the open to confront the pack of armored tigers. His sudden appearance immediately draws their attention. They let out warning growls, and the Tiger King, perched on its kill, roars to assert its dominance. Xu Jingming's eyes narrow as he observes his opponents. He notes that, as expected of a group led by a beast king, the tigers have enough intelligence for a simple battle formation, with the stronger ones in front. The pack growls menacingly, preparing to attack as one. One of the tigers breaks from the pack and charges, roaring as it lunges at him. From his hiding spot, Zhou Mingyang watches with a mix of disbelief and intrigue. He decides to observe the encounter, curious to see if Xu Jingming is just marching to his death or if he has some special skill to back up his incredible confidence. Facing the charging beast, Xu Jingming remains perfectly still, a calm aura around him as he prepares his spear. In a blur of motion, he begins to spin the weapon with blinding speed, the shaft becoming a near-invisible circle as he gathers energy for his attack. He unleashes a devastatingly wide spinning sweep, sending a massive arc of force tearing through the air towards the attacking beasts. The attack connects with overwhelming power. In a single, brutal motion, his spinning spear cuts through several of the tigers at once, sending a spray of blood across the street. System notifications instantly pop up, confirming his kills and awarding ability points. The lifeless bodies of the tigers collapse onto the blood-soaked pavement, the initial wave of the pack annihilated by his single, powerful strike. The armored Tiger King is enraged by the slaughter of its pack. Xu Jingming, however, looks at the carnage with a hint of dissatisfaction. He remarks that it's a pity his physical strength is still lacking, as he was unable to kill all the tigers in one blow. The remaining tigers, led by their enraged king, surround him, ready to avenge their fallen pack members. The Tiger King unleashes a deafening roar, a powerful sonic attack meant to disorient its opponent. The force of the roar is so immense that it shatters the windows of nearby buildings, creating a rain of glass. Even Zhou Mingyang, watching from a safe distance, is affected by the sonic blast, clutching his head in pain. Xu Jingming, however, stands firm amidst the shattering glass, completely unfazed. He recognizes the Tiger King's attempt to intimidate him. With a defiant look, he declares that while the beast might scare others, it can't scare him. As the remaining tigers lunge at him from all sides, Xu Jingming meets their charge with fluid grace and deadly precision. He parries one tiger's attack, then uses the beast's own body as a springboard to launch himself into the air, avoiding the snapping jaws of another. The Tiger King, seeing an opening, charges forward, but Xu Jingming is ready. Still airborne, he positions himself for a decisive strike. With a powerful overhead swing, he brings his spear down directly onto the Tiger King's head, the immense force cleaving through the beast's skull and killing it instantly. He lands gracefully as a system notification confirms the kill of an upper-rank first-order arm-blade tiger, awarding him a massive 20 ability points. Watching from his hiding spot, Zhou Mingyang is utterly dumbfounded. Sweating and wide-eyed, he can't believe what he just witnessed. He mutters to himself that there's no way one person could have taken care of the entire pack, wondering what kind of monster Xu Jingming truly is. Xu Jingming, on the other hand, is ecstatic. He marvels at the huge harvest of ability points he earned from the Tiger Pack. He excitedly wonders how many points he can accumulate before the 12-hour exam is over. Knowing that more points mean more power, he decides to hurry and find the next group of beasts to hunt. Before he can leave, Zhou Mingyang runs out from his hiding spot, demanding to know how Xu Jingming managed to crush the tigers with just a long spear. He asks if his ability is a reinforcement type, which would explain his incredible physical prowess. Without stopping, Xu Jingming simply leaps away, calling back that he is a lightning type. Zhou Mingyang is left fuming, not believing the answer. He clenches his fist in frustration, thinking Xu Jingming is being dismissive. A moment later, he realizes that with so many new kills, Xu Jingming's score is likely to catch up to his. He quickly checks the leaderboard on his smartwatch. To his absolute horror, he sees that Xu Jingming has not just caught up, but completely surpassed him. The leaderboard now shows Xu Jingming in first place with 1,122 points, while he has been pushed down to second with 985. The realization leaves him screaming in frustration. Back in the audience stands, the officials are erupting with excitement. Director Zhang Wenshan stands up and declares that Xu Jingming's high-level spearmanship confirms he is a genuine genius. He claps a beaming Principal Zhao Yao on the shoulder, announcing that with Xu Jingming representing them, Zhang Cheng can definitely get into the provincial top 100. He promises a commendation for the second high school after the exam, much to the principal's tearful delight. Principal Zhao Yao is overcome with emotion, thinking what a huge surprise Xu Jingming has been, finally giving his school its day to shine. 3 hours later, in the core zone, Zhou Mingyang walks through the streets, looking utterly confused. He wonders aloud where all the fierce beasts have gone. A voice from behind him suggests that he'll have to ask the #1 ranked student. He turns to see his cousin Tang Qi, along with other top-ranked students Wu Hao and Meng Di. Tang Qi points to the empty streets, explaining that Xu Jingming has already killed all the beasts. She says that because they couldn't find any beasts to fight, they had to team up. Zhou Mingyang is left stunned, finding it impossible to believe one person could have cleared out the entire core zone. Tang Qi tells Zhou Mingyang that she can tell he hasn't been a ranked ability user for very long. To prove her point, she tells him to look at her cousin's current score. She activates her smartwatch, and the leaderboard appears. Zhou Mingyang's eyes go wide in disbelief as he sees the astronomical number next to Xu Jingming's name. 35 points, more than triple his own score. He can only stammer in shock. Tang Qi calmly explains the math. Subtracting the roughly 700 points Xu Jingming got in the central zone, he still earned over 2,500 points, meaning he must have single-handedly killed almost 200 fierce beasts in the core zone alone. A bead of sweat rolls down Zhou Mingyang's face as he realizes the truth. It wasn't that Xu Jingming was afraid of someone stealing his kills. He had planned to monopolize the entire core zone from the beginning. Wu Hao explains their current situation. With only a few hours left, the remaining top students have formed a team. Their plan is to brave the innermost core zone, a place they know is filled with upper-rank beasts and even a second-order beast king. He acknowledges that going in alone would be a death wish. Meng Di then formally invites Zhou Mingyang to join their team. With no other option, he agrees, shouting, "Count me in." The scene shifts to a quiet, moonlit rooftop. Xu Jingming sits alone atop a massive pile of slain beast corpses, his spear planted beside him. His supplies are completely exhausted, and he knows the exam is nearing its end. But his hunt for power is not over. He decides he must go deeper to get more ability points. Knowing the innermost core zone holds second-order fierce beasts, he resolves to strengthen his power one last time. He pulls up his system panel, revealing he has accumulated a staggering 2413 ability points. With a mischievous grin, he decides to put his points into an upgrade. After channeling the new power, he stands over the corpse of a massive bear-like creature, letting out a breath of relief. He feels confident that with this final boost, he should be able to handle this year's combat exam finale. As the other top students sprint towards the final area, their final sprint begins. Deep within the innermost zone, a terrifying new beast emerges from the ruins. A massive, white-furred, wolf-like creature with glowing red eyes and dangerous red crystals on its back. As the final challenge appears, Xu Jingming arrives on the scene, calm and ready. He holds his spear, a confident look on his face as he wonders what kind of second-order fierce beast the exam has arranged for him this year. Just as Xu Jingming arrives for the final challenge, the team of top-ranked students also reaches the innermost core zone. They immediately identify the massive, crystal-backed creature as a bloodthirsty savage bear. The beast shows its incredible power by smashing a wrecked car with a single swipe of its paw. The sight fills the team with dread. Zhou Mingyang exclaims that they are in big trouble. Mengdi explains that this rare beast has a hide as tough as E-grade alloy, which even missiles can't pierce. She adds with terror that a single strike from its paw could kill them all instantly. Seeing the overwhelming odds, Tang Qi suggests they abandon the mission. Their situation is even more dire than they thought. They realize the compound is guarded not just by the Beast King, but also by a large pack of high-rank first-level beasts. One of them grimly states that if they enter, they will likely be wiped out by the horde before the savage bear even moves. Faced with the impossible challenge, a team member immediately quits, saying there's no point in getting a high score if you die. Zhou Mingyang tries to stop him, angrily questioning the point of being handsome if he's just going to rush into a horde of beasts to die. The team's morale has completely shattered. Suddenly, Mengdi points towards the compound, shouting for the others to look. They see a lone figure entering the deadly area. Tang Qi's eyes widen as she recognizes him. It's Xu Jingming, fearlessly walking into the heart of the beast horde. As he gracefully leaps into the compound, the others watch in disbelief. Zhou Mingyang complains about the difficult test, while another student panics, crying out that Xu Jingming's entrance has startled the entire horde, which now turns its attention to him. Enraged by the intrusion, the entire horde of fierce beasts charges at him. Xu Jingming stands his ground in the center of the street, and in an instant, he is completely engulfed by the snarling creatures. Watching from the rooftop, the other students are horrified. Tang Qi worries for her cousin, but Wu Hao remarks that he was too reckless. Tang Qi declares she has to go help him. Meng Di grabs her arm, trying to stop her, and Wu Hao calls her crazy, saying it's a pointless death. Tang Qi desperately insists that Jingming is her cousin, and she can't just watch him die. Before she can act, a massive explosion of purple and blue lightning erupts from the center of the beast horde. The raw power creates a blinding flash, forcing the students on the roof to shield their eyes. Zhou Mingyang stares, wondering aloud if this is the lightning superpower Xu Jingming mentioned earlier. The lightning dissipates, revealing a scene of utter carnage. The entire horde of first-level beasts has been wiped out, their charred bodies scattered around a lone, unharmed figure. Xu Jingming stands in the devastation, purple lightning crackling around him. He acknowledges that his physical strength alone wasn't enough, so he had to use his superpower. A confident smile plays on his lips as he feels the immense power of his S-grade ability. Having cleared the lesser threats, he turns his attention to the final challenge, the bloodthirsty savage bear, standing over the corpses of its minions. The massive beast lets out a deafening roar. Xu Jingming remains calm, analyzing his opponent. He notes the savage bear is massive and likely not agile, concluding that with his powerful thunder ability, it should be manageable. He then notices the beast is not alone. It has several smaller but still dangerous minions. Realizing these creatures might be an annoyance, he decides there's only one thing to do. With a look of fierce determination, his eyes glowing, he declares that he will clear the area first. He bursts into motion, his body enhanced by his S-grade lightning ability, moving with blinding speed as he blitzes through the remaining beasts. He effortlessly dispatches a high-rank Shadow Cat, his smartwatch confirming the kill and awarding him 13 points. With a confident grin, he marvels at the enhancement his superpower provides to his physique, but acknowledges he can't maintain the dangerous state for long. Knowing it's enough to clear the minions, he cuts down the last of the lesser beasts with a powerful sweep of his spear, earning another 15 points for a high-rank unicorn rhino. With the area cleared, the final confrontation begins. the savage bear roars in fury, slamming its massive paws into the ground and creating a shockwave that shatters the pavement. The beast charges, shaking the ground. Xu Jingming, wreathed in his lightning aura, meets the charge head-on. With a powerful leap, he dodges the charge and swings his spear in a devastating arc, shattering one of the large red crystals on the beast's back. The battle continues in a blur, with Xu Jingming expertly dodging the bear's attacks and landing precise strikes, shattering more crystals and wounding the beast. His smartwatch continuously updates with points as he dismantles the Beast King's defenses. The savage bear roars, enraged as it watches its minions fall. Xu Jingming, wreathed in lightning, taunts the beast, asking if it's getting angry. He promises to deal with it after taking care of the last minion. As he charges the final rhino, the Bear King watches with cunning intelligence. Just as Xu Jingming is about to strike, the Bear King moves with unexpected speed, smashing its own minion to bits to intercept him. Xu Jingming is surprised, realizing the beast anticipated his move. The Bear King claps its paws together, sacrificing its last minion to create a devastating shockwave that obliterates the ground and nearby cars. The final rhino is torn apart in the explosion. However, the attack fails to harm its target. Xu Jingming, surrounded by his lightning aura, gracefully flips through the air, landing safely and untouched by the explosion. With the battlefield cleared of lesser threats, only the two kings remain. Xu Jingming grins fiercely, his body crackling with power. He declares that with no minions left, it's time to see if the beast's armor-like hide can withstand the force of his thunder. With a powerful thrust, Xu Jingming plunges his lightning-covered spear into the bloodthirsty savage bear's head. The impact creates a huge explosion of purple energy that covers the drone following him, cutting its camera feed. The students on the rooftop are hit by the shockwave, shielding their faces from the blast. In the audience stands, the officials stare in stunned silence at the static-filled screen. Director Zhang Wenshan, shocked, turns to Principal Zhao Yao. He yells, asking if he calls the power they just saw an E-class ability and accusing him of kidding. Another official, also amazed, remarks that Xu Jingming could instantly kill a high-tier rank 1 beast and fight a rank 2 boss, a feat even an A-class user would struggle with. Principal Zhao Yao, sweating and at a loss, can only guess it might be a rare ability mutation. Regardless, Director Zhang Wenshan laughs and says that after today, the great Xia nation will be shaken by Xu Jingming's name. Back on the battlefield, the result of Xu Jingming's attack is clear. The bloodthirsty savage bear is wounded with a deep gash on its head, but it is not defeated. The beast roars and swats Xu Jingming with its paw, sending him flying. He is shocked his powerful attack only left a shallow wound. He lands hard on the ground, using his skills to recover. He quickly analyzes the situation. He realizes the savage bear's hide is resistant to blades and doesn't conduct electricity. He admits to himself that with his current strength, it will be hard to kill the beast in one shot. The enraged savage bear begins to gather dark energy around its body. Xu Jingming, sensing the immense power, can only look on in shock, saying, "What?" Dark energy gathers around the bloodthirsty savage bear as it powers up, rolling forward like a monstrous boulder. It smashes through everything, the ground seeming to buckle under its power. Xu Jingming leaps back onto debris as purple lightning crackles around him, readying himself. He is surprised the beast activated its berserk skill so quickly, recognizing the beast truly hates him. A note explains, berserk is a beast's counter skill, like a human combat technique. The enraged beast, now covered in dark energy, hunches over. It lets out a deafening roar, then charges with greater speed and ferocity. Xu Jingming is impressed, remarking on the astonishing strength of a beast in its berserk state. He knows, however, that the berserk state has a cost. The beast loses its intelligence, acting purely on instinct. He quickly forms a new strategy. He must avoid its attacks and use his superior agility to keep it at a distance. He puts his plan into action, dodging the beast's relentless attacks with incredible speed. He knows he must wait for the perfect chance to temporarily stop it. As the beast lunges, he channels lightning into his spear and thrusts it forward, unleashing a blast of energy that strikes the beast's side. The attack freezes the massive creature for a crucial second, its body shaking from the electric shock. This is the opening he needed. With the beast stunned, Xu Jingming's eyes glow as he prepares his ultimate attack. He raises his hand, gathering a massive amount of purple and blue energy. He calls on the full power of his S-rank ability, shouting, "Nine Heavens Divine Lightning, blast it!" A huge torrent of divine lightning comes down from the sky, slamming into the bloodthirsty savage bear. The beast is engulfed in the blast, its roars drowned out by the crackling energy. When the light fades, the massive beast lies motionless, smoke rising from its charred body. Xu Jingming stands over it, a confident smile on his face as purple lightning dances around his fingertips. He remarks that after half a minute of his purple divine lightning, even the thickest defense couldn't withstand it. However, the battle isn't over. The beast's eye snaps open, glowing with a furious red light. With a final, desperate roar, it lunges, its massive jaws open for a final bite. The electrical power surging through its body causes a temporary paralysis, freezing it just inches from its target. Seeing his chance, Xu Jingming calmly states, "It's time." He gathers all his remaining power into his spear, his eyes glowing. He channels his ultimate technique, saying the words, lightning, gale, break. He unleashes the attack, a massive sphere of lightning that slams into the paralyzed beast's open mouth. The explosion is immense, a vortex of power that tears through the beast from the inside, creating a huge crater in the street. The force of the blast finally brings the mighty second-order beast down for good. Its massive body collapses onto the pavement, defeated. A system notification confirms the kill and awards him plus 124 ability points. Kneeling beside the Beast King, Xu Jingming breathes a sigh of relief, stating the final battle is over. He reflects that to deal with the second-order beast, he upgraded his lightning gale technique, and he is pleased with its power. A triumphant smile spreads across his face. He notes that although the battle only lasted 2 minutes, it was the most exhilarating he has ever experienced. He then wonders how many points he will get after clearing out all the beasts in the core area. The exam ends as night falls. Back in the audience stands, the final results are displayed on the main screen, and the crowd roars. In first place is Xu Jingming, with an unbelievable score of 10,835 points. In a distant second is Zhou Mingyang, with 1,103 points, followed by Wu Hao, with 945. The officials are ecstatic. Director Zhang Wenshan, Principal Zhao Yao, and teacher Chen Fan leap to their feet, cheering. They celebrate that Xu Jingming not only broke their city's record, but the entire Jiangnan province record. They call him a genius. They recall last year's provincial champion only scored just over 8,000 points. With his score, they declare Xu Jingming has practically pre-booked this year's champion title. Standing amidst the destruction, Xu Jingming looks at the sky and notes there isn't much time left. He reflects on his accomplishments with a confident smirk. He has killed all the fierce beasts in the inner circle and core area. With time left, he decides to head back to the central area to kill as many remaining beasts as he can. As he walks back, he passes the rooftop where the other top students are gathered. They stare in disbelief. Tang Qi is amazed her cousin killed a Tier 2 Beast King, while Zhou Mingyang is bewildered, wondering why Xu Jingming is going back when he is already in first place. Mingdi correctly guesses he is heading back to the central area. The horrifying realization dawns on her, and she wonders aloud if he is going back to clear out all the remaining beasts. The other students are speechless at his ambition. The reality hits them. Zhou Mingyang realizes that with Xu Jingming's speed, he might actually do it. If they don't leave soon, they might not get a single point in the last hour. He declares their team-up is over and leaves first. The others quickly follow, scrambling to hunt for any remaining beasts. 1 hour later, an official announcement echoes across the exam venue. The 2037 Zhangcheng Martial Arts College entrance examination has concluded. Killing beasts no longer counts, and all candidates are told to return. Throughout the venue, the remaining students react. A tired Tang Qi wipes sweat from her brow, sighing that it's finally over. Elsewhere, one student despairs over being one beast away from passing, while another celebrates just barely making it. In the midst of the carnage, Xu Jingming stands over his final kill, looking unsatisfied. He wonders why the exam had to end so quickly, feeling he wasn't quite finished. As students exit the exam venue, they are greeted by guards, their faces a mix of exhaustion and relief. Outside, Tang Qi's friend Xiaoya is still reeling from Xu Jingming's power. She clings to Tang Qi, asking for the third time if Xu Jingming is really her cousin. Tang Qi, looking weary, confirms he is. Xiaoya's crush has returned. With a blush, she begs Tang Qi for his contact information. Tang Qi reminds her that just yesterday she wasn't interested. Xiaoya quickly says things are different now that he is first in the exam and continues to beg. Their conversation is interrupted by a commotion. Someone shouts that Xu Jingming is coming out. A massive crowd of students swarms the exit, desperate to see the new champion. Xu Jingming emerges from the gate, his expression calm and his spear on his shoulder. He is met with cheers and congratulations. Some jokingly ask him to give them 100 of his points. He smiles and waves, taking in the sudden fame as he walks towards the buses. In the crowd, Wu Hao and Zhou Mingyang look on. Wu Hao remarks that Zhou Mingyang should have been the one in that position, but Zhou Mingyang humbly replies he is content with his score, admitting he never knew the second high school could produce such a monster. Before Xu Jingming can get on the bus, he is stopped by Principal Zhao Yao, who congratulates him and introduces him to Director Zhang Wenshan. The director informs Xu Jingming that he wants to give him a ride himself. Xu Jingming looks at the chaotic crowd and realizes it's for the best, knowing the bus ride would be full of questions. He gets into a sleek black car with the officials, which speeds away. Inside the car, Director Zhang asks Xu Jingming which superpower university he wants to attend. Xu Jingming admits he has been so focused on his strength that he hasn't thought about it. The director assures him that with his results, any university would be within his reach. However, he advises that half of the country's high-level superpower users graduate from the top 3 universities and recommends he consider them. Director Zhang Wenshan details the top 3. First is Qingjing Superpower University, affiliated with the government. Graduates can directly enter the system and serve the country. Next is Modu Superpower University, known for its excellent resources and elite clubs. Finally, there is Jincheng Superpower University, which has a long history and strong faculty. All 3 have top-tier cultivation methods that are not public. Xu Jingming listens intently. He understands awakened individuals need these special methods to become true superpower users. He asks what makes a top-tier cultivation method special. The director explains that with a beginner method, it would take 3 to 4 years to advance. With a top-tier method, it only takes half a year. He reassures Xu Jingming that with his results, he will qualify for special admission from even the top 3 universities. Having dropped off the officials, Xu Jingming arrives back at his apartment late at night. The next day, he is in the shower, feeling refreshed. He checks his system panel and sees he has 2,534 ability points remaining, which he believes is enough for a superpower university. As he dries off, he wonders if there will be beast-killing competitions after he enrolls, deciding he will have to enter the wilderness to continue growing stronger. Meanwhile, his cousin Tang Qi arrives at his apartment with her mother, Xu Qingwan. Tang Qi notices the door is broken and decides it's a perfect chance to sneak in and surprise him. They enter, and Tang Qi cheerfully shouts a surprise greeting. Her timing is terrible. Xu Jingming, wearing only a towel, has just stepped out of the bathroom. He is shocked to see his aunt and cousin. His aunt, equally flustered, asks what he is doing, while Tang Qi is left blushing and speechless. His aunt then sees the ruined apartment and angrily asks how it got into such a mess. A flashback explains that after his parents passed away, his aunt stayed with him, taking good care of him and giving him the warmth of a home. She fulfilled her guardian duties, even occasionally feeding him his favorite meal. After the initial shock, Xu Jingming sits with his aunt and cousin. His aunt, Xu Qingwan, expresses her relief. She admits she was incredibly worried when she learned he was taking the martial arts exam. Now that she sees he is unharmed, she is relieved. She reassures him his score isn't important. Xu Jingming is confused and asks if Tang Qi didn't tell her the results. Tang Qi winks, saying it's better if he tells his mother himself. With a bashful smile, Xu Jingming tells his aunt he did quite well, scoring over 10,000 points. The news is so shocking his aunt spits out her drink. She coughs, asking him to repeat his score. Tang Qi confirms it's true, telling her mother he scored 11,124 points. His aunt is speechless. A moment later, she bursts into tears of joy and pulls him into a tight hug, exclaiming that the Xu family finally has a successor and his parents in heaven must be so proud. Meanwhile, in a high-tech conference room, university recruiters are reviewing the exam results. A woman presents the data on Xu Jingming, noting his age, his supposed E-class ability, and his rank as an unranked awakener. One recruiter insists they must recruit this student if the score is real. Another is skeptical, arguing that based on his rank, he couldn't have achieved such a high score. The debate continues, with some arguing his ability is at least A-class, or even S-class. Another recruiter scoffs, suggesting he must have cheated. Before the argument can escalate, a senior figure tells them to stop. A woman with a commanding presence makes a decision. She instructs the team to list Xu Jingming as an S-class special recruit for now. As for whether the score is genuine, she declares she will personally go to Jiangcheng to investigate. The day after the exam, Xu Jingming gets a notification on his phone that the Jiangnan Province martial arts exam rankings are out. He is informed that he placed first in the province with an astonishing score of 11,124 points. A look of surprised delight spreads across his face as he sits down, celebrating his achievement as the top scholar of Jiangnan Province. News of his success quickly spreads online, taking over the hot search topics. The public debates how a dark horse from Jiangcheng could become the provincial top scholar, questioning who Xu Jingming is and if an E-class individual could truly achieve such a score. Skeptics reject the possibility, while others demand to see the exam video for proof. In response to the doubts, an awards ceremony is held where Principal Zhao Yao addresses the media. A female reporter directly asks him to explain the authenticity of Xu Jingming's results. Principal Zhao Yao confidently states that the school's website has uploaded Xu Jingming's exam video, confirming the fairness of the exam. As people watch the video, they are amazed, exclaiming that Xu Jingming pierced a Tier 1 rhinoceros skull with a single shot, showing power stronger than a Tier 1 superhuman. They question how this is possible for someone with an E-class lightning ability. Principal Zhao Yao, beaming, assures everyone the video proves the results are real and praises Xu Jingming as the first student from Jiangcheng to achieve top scholar status. Director Zhao Yao then presents a massive check for 1 million yuan to Xu Jingming, congratulating him. He announces this cash reward, along with superpower training methods, is a gift from the City Education Bureau. Additionally, the city government will provide an equivalent bonus and a luxury villa. Reporters eagerly capture the moment. Meanwhile, a commanding woman with 2 bodyguards stands by a car and remarks that while Jiangcheng released the footage, it doesn't guarantee Xu Jingming didn't use performance-enhancing drugs. She states that the most crucial step is to confirm his superpower level. Back at the ceremony, Director Zhao Yao asks teacher Chen Fan why Xu Jingming, the day's protagonist, has not yet arrived. Teacher Chen Fan smiles, explaining that he just spoke with Xu Jingming, who said he is still training at the martial arts gym. The director laughs, finding it extraordinary that the new top scholar is still training after the exam. With Xu Jingming on his way, the scene shifts to a meeting room where Principal Zhao Yao is nervously serving tea to 3 intimidating figures, whom he addresses as teachers. When one of them casually dismisses the tea, Principal Zhao Yao sweats, thinking about the powerful aura coming from these high-level superhumans, which makes his heart tremble. The 3 individuals are recruiters from the nation's top superpower universities, and the air is tense as their immense spiritual pressures seem ready to clash. The woman with short, grayish-purple hair, Zhang Zhaoyue, the director of admissions for Modu Superpower University, breaks the silence. She coyly asks her rivals who they are targeting. A woman in a light blue dress, Su Yun from Qingjing Superpower University, tells Zhang Zhaoyue not to play dumb. She confidently declares that as long as his results are genuine, Qingjing University will have him. A man with long black hair, Wu Yuan from Jin City Superpower University, scoffs at her claim, stating that Jin City University will recruit him. As sparks of energy crackle between them, Zhang Zhaoyue thinks to herself that recruiting top scholars always involves clashing with other academies. Just as the tension peaks, the door slides open, and Xu Jingming enters with his spear over his shoulder. He calmly greets the 3 powerful figures as teachers. His sudden arrival surprises the recruiters. Zhang Zhaoyue observes him with interest, noting his spirit is full and he's still carrying his weapon, a sign he hasn't relaxed his training. More importantly, she is impressed that he did not falter under the combined pressure of 3 high-level superhumans. Principal Zhao Yao formally introduces the recruiters to Xu Jingming, Director Zhang Zhaoyue from Modu University, Director Su Yun from Qingjing University, and Minister Wu Yuan from Jin City University. Director Zhang Zhaoyue speaks first, complimenting him on his stunning combat techniques in the exam video. However, she gets straight to the point, asking why his superpower no longer seems to be the E-class weak electricity, and requests an explanation. Expecting this question, Xu Jingming gives a prepared answer. He calmly explains that before the exam, while training at home, he was struck by natural lightning, and his superpower became much stronger. Wu Yuan and Su Yun immediately conclude that it sounds like a superpower mutation. Zhang Zhaoyu then suggests that Xu Jingming probably doesn't know the true level of his mutated superpower. She has brought a superpower detection instrument with her and invites him to try it. She presents a glowing, circular device and tells him to use his superpower on it. Xu Jingming places his hand on the instrument and unleashes his power. A massive, violent surge of purple and white lightning erupts from him, covering the device. Su Yun is visibly shocked by the sheer force of the lightning. The detection device completes its scan, identifying the superpower as Purple Cloud Divine Thunder. but as it tries to assign a rating, it beeps erratically and cracks appear. In a flash of golden light, the instrument overloads and explodes into pieces. The blast sends arcs of electricity across the room, startling everyone. A shocked Principal Zhao Yao asks what is going on. Wu Yuan and Su Yun, however, look thrilled. They state the situation is confirmed. His power overloaded the small device, which means his ability level must be S-class at the very least. With Xu Jingming's S-class potential confirmed, director Zhang Zhaoyue smiles, thinking they bet on the right person this time. The confirmation immediately sparks a fierce bidding war. Wu Yuan from Jin City University is the first to make an offer, shouting that his university will give Xu Jingming a 4 million admission bonus, a full set of C-class equipment, and free access to all superpower training methods for all 4 years. Su Yun from Qingjing University scoffs at his offer. She turns to Xu Jingming with a charming smile and presents her own proposal, a 5 million admission bonus, and for 4 years, free access to all of their S-class superpower training methods and combat techniques. Xu Jingming is taken aback by her generous offer. Finally, Zhang Zhaoyue from Modu Superpower University makes her move. She states that Modu doesn't offer cash bonuses or equipment, but can match the other offers on cultivation methods. Then, she reveals her trump card, adding that they will also provide an S-class cultivation resource annually. The mention of an S-class resource leaves both Wu Yuan and Su Yun in complete shock. Unfamiliar with the term, Xu Jingming asks what an S-class cultivation resource is. Zhang Zhaoyue explains, asking if he has heard of dragon-type fierce beasts. She says they are creatures with innate power, born at a high level of tier 4 or 5, far surpassing other beasts. She then reveals the stunning details. The S-class resources include the heartblood of an 8th-tier adult dragon-type fierce beast. After consuming this dragon blood, one's body would be greatly enhanced, and their physical strength would become comparable to that of a dragon-type beast. She emphasizes that every S-class resource is on the same level as this. The other recruiters are left speechless. Su Yun admits that even she is tempted, remarking on Modu's wealth. Wu Yuan, flustered, points out that S-class resources are usually reserved for top students, and offering them to a freshman is unheard of. They both realize they can no longer compete. With all offers on the table, the 3 recruiters stand before Xu Jingming, telling him it is time to make his decision. With a confident, determined smile, Xu Jingming gives his answer without hesitation, declaring that he chooses Modu Superpower University. With his choice made, Xu Jingming explains he chose Modu Superpower University not just for their great offer, but because its combat training is the best in the University Alliance, with many founders coming from Modu. He then bows to Su Yun and Wu Yuan, thanking them for their offer. They both look disappointed. Pleased with his decision, director Zhang Zhaoyue creates a glowing admission letter and gives it to Xu Jingming, welcoming him. She tells him that while new students enroll on September 1st as a special recruit, he can register early and will be given a place to stay. Eager to start, Xu Jingming asks if he can access the library's superpower training methods and combat techniques ahead of time. Zhang Zhaoyu agrees without hesitation, adding that the school can provide him with a private study room. She hands him her contact card, telling him to get in touch when he arrives in Magic City. Holding his admission letter, Xu Jingming looks at the smiling director and says he can't wait to go and register. Sometime later, Xu Jingming stands at a train station with his luggage, looking excited as an announcement calls for passengers of the G91 train to Magic City to begin boarding. At the station, his aunt Xu Qingwan is emotional, wiping away tears as her husband Tang Daolin comforts her. He proudly says that their child has grown up and that when Xiaoming leaves, he is going to soar. As Tang Xi looks on, her father reminds her it is time to start filling out her university choices. He suggests that since her cousin is going to Magic City Superpower University, she should also try to choose a university there. Xu Qingwan agrees, adding it would be good for them to look out for each other. A flustered Tang Qi quietly agrees. On the train, with 6 hours left, Xu Jingming is already studying. He thinks to himself that the most important reward from the exam is the Universal C training method. Like superpowers, training methods also have different ratings: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and top tier. A graph shows that the higher the level of the method, the faster the training speed and the greater the power gained. While on the train, Xu Jingming focuses on studying the Universal C training method. He identifies it as an intermediate level technique and notes that with his spiritual power of 180, it took him half a day to memorize it. He recalls that by following the method, he was able to sense the special energy in the world on his first day of practice. This unlocked a new option on his system panel, showing a plus sign next to his level, meaning he could now advance from an awakened to a superpower user. However, he decides not to level up yet. He remembers the training manual said the higher the level of the training method used for the breakthrough, the greater the benefits. Knowing he will soon have access to top-tier methods at the university, he resolves not to waste this chance by using an intermediate one. Upon arriving in Magic City, Xu Jingming is in awe of the university campus. From the car, he sees the school grounds are several hundred meters wide. He is greeted by Director Zhang Zhaoyue, who pulls up in a red sports car and welcomes him, telling him to get in so she can take him to handle admission procedures. As they drive through the stunning campus, lined with cherry blossom trees, Director Zhang Zhaoyue boasts about its size, explaining it covers 40,000 mu. She adds that even visiting students can't tour the entire campus in one day. Xu Jingming is impressed, remarking that seeing it is better than hearing about it. After a quick registration, Director Zhang Zhaoyue hands him his new student ID, an all-in-one card he can use to access the dorms. As they approach his new accommodation, Xu Jingming thinks about his past life, where he saw dorms from 4-person rooms to 3-bedroom apartments. However, nothing prepared him for what he sees next. He stares in shock at his new dormitory, a magnificent, luxurious villa. Director Zhang Zhaoyue explains that every student at Modu lives in a villa, with the luxury determined by their scores. As the provincial top scorer, Xu Jingming gets the most luxurious model, with an area of over 800 square meters. She informs him the villa is for 2 people, with an upper and lower floor, so he and his future roommate will each have an entire floor. Xu Jingming thinks that having a roommate isn't bad and is better than being alone. He reflects on his life as an orphan and admits he still prefers the warm feeling of a communal 4-person dorm as he follows the director up the steps. Inside the villa, Director Zhang Zhaoyue sits down with Xu Jingming and informs him that she will now explain a few important things about the university. She highlights 2 main points, the credit system and the mentor system. She begins by explaining that at Modu, credits are everything. They are used for all transactions, from buying meals to powerful equipment. She clarifies that 1 credit is roughly equivalent to 10,000 Daxia currency. Director Zhang Zhaoyue explains there are many ways to get credits, one of which is a fixed amount given each year based on a student's rating. As an S-class student, Xu Jingming gets 100 credits for the year. To show him, she summons a small, spherical robot, calling out, "Eva." The device floats and projects a message, confirming Xu Jingming's credit balance is 100. The director introduces the robot as Eva, the AI equipped in every dorm. She explains Eva's main body is the school's central AI, and the dorm units are subunits. However, she notes that even a subunit is a level 4 AI, capable of assisting with daily life. Xu Jingming is stunned, realizing the AI technology on Blue Star is far more advanced than in his previous life. With the first point covered, Director Zhang Zhaoyue moves on to the mentor system. She explains every student can choose a mentor they admire and ask for guidance, though the mentor must agree. Xu Jingming is intrigued, questioning if he can get one-on-one guidance as a freshman. She confirms this, adding that all mentors at the university are high-level, superpowered individuals. Most have their own original combat techniques and training methods, which they do not pass on to outsiders. These secret techniques can only be learned after becoming their official disciple. Given Xu Jingming's abilities, she informs him the university has 4 mentors who specialize in the lightning element. Her top recommendation is Yang Zhentian, the dean of the Weaponry Academy. At her command, Eva projects a profile of the dean. It reveals Yang Zhentian is a 52-year-old, Tier 7 high-rank superpowered individual with an A-rank lightning superpower. He is a master of various weapons, especially the spear, earning him the title Thunder Spear. The profile also notes he once fought an 8th-tier demonic whale for 3 days and nights before killing it alone. The director also provides information on the other 3 potential mentors, but tells Xu Jingming the final choice is his. After reviewing the options, a confident smile spreads across Xu Jingming's face. He notes Dean Yang Zhentian is not only a lightning user, but also a spear specialist, concluding he is the best choice for his mentor. Having made his choice, Xu Jingming heads to the mentor's residential area, a serene compound of traditional buildings in a lush forest. As he arrives at the grand gate of Dean Yang Zhentian's residence, he thinks that a mentor's home is far more high class than the student villas. Before he can proceed, a young man with brown hair, leaning against a stone lion, asks if Xu Jingming is also there to seek mentorship. The young man looks surprised when he realizes Xu Jingming is still an awakened, guessing he must be a specially recruited student. After Xu Jingming confirms this, the other student remarks that in previous years, special recruits were typically mid to high-rank Tier 1 individuals. The student introduces himself as Tan Mingyang, a junior from the Weaponry Academy. Xu Jingming introduces himself as a freshman who just registered. Tan seems impressed, commenting that Xu Jingming is quick to seek mentorship. He explains that most freshmen only learn about this after the freshman competition, which interests Xu Jingming. Tan explains that the freshman competition is a university tradition held a few days after registration. All teachers watch, and students who perform well are sought after by academies, with some even being chosen directly by mentors. He clarifies that while it's not impossible for a special recruit like Xu Jingming to seek mentorship early, trying to become the dean's disciple right after enrolling is as difficult as winning the lottery. Xu Jingming politely thanks him for the explanation and asks if Tan is also there to seek mentorship from Teacher Yang. With a sigh, Tan confirms this, revealing he has made several trips over the past 6 months but has always been turned away. He was about to give up, but decided to try one last time. Just as he finishes speaking, the large doors open, and a middle-aged man, likely a butler, appears, startling Tan. The butler's expression softens as he greets them and informs them that Teacher Yang is waiting inside, inviting them to follow him. Tan is taken aback by the warm reception, wondering if the fact that the dean is waiting inside means he might finally have a chance. The butler leads them into a room where they are brought before 2 men. Xu Jingming immediately feels an incredibly powerful presence from the older man, who has a commanding posture, a full gray beard, and sharp eyes. He recognizes him as the dean of the Weaponry Academy, Yang Zhentian. A younger man with long hair stands beside him. Dean Yang Zhentian addresses Xu Jingming directly, stating that he must be the one Director Zhang Zhaoyu told him about. Ignoring Tan completely, he tells Xu Jingming to follow him to the training room. In a traditional training room filled with weapons, Dean Yang Zhentian tells Xu Jingming that he has seen his martial arts exam video. He praises his combat skills and marksmanship. However, before deciding, the dean insists on seeing his S-rank ability, the Purple Heaven Divine Thunder, with his own eyes. Xu Jingming calmly agrees. As the dean observes, Xu Jingming channels his power, and arcs of purple lightning crackle around his arms. He then unleashes a massive, violent burst of purple and white energy that fills the room, the raw power crackling with immense force. Dean Yang Zhentian is visibly impressed, a grin on his face as he recognizes the S-rank ability. He mentally compares it to his own A-rank ability, acknowledging that the gap between A-rank and S-rank power is impossible to bridge. He sees immense potential in the student, thinking that if Xu Jingming hones his skills, his future could rival his own. With the demonstration done, the dean states that with Xu Jingming's potential, becoming his disciple is not an issue. However, he offers a serious warning. He explains that he has made many friends and enemies. He cannot guarantee his enemies won't target his disciples, and asks if Xu Jingming is still willing to accept him as a master, knowing the risks. Without hesitation, Xu Jingming drops to his knees in a formal sign of respect. With a wide, determined grin, he declares that he is willing. He passionately explains that he admires high-level ability users who have grown strong through bloody struggles. He believes the number of enemies his teacher has defeated is proof of his immense combat ability. Pleased with this answer, Dean Yang Zhentian laughs heartily and formally accepts him. He declares that from this day forward, Xu Jingming is his 32nd disciple and his very first S-rank disciple. Telling him to rise, the dean presents Xu Jingming with his first gifts, a top-tier ability training method called Extreme Ability Training Method, and a body-tempering combat technique called Thunder Indestructible Body, both of which he created. Xu Jingming is stunned by the value of the gifts, realizing a body-tempering combat technique that can strengthen his body is far more precious than an ordinary one. The dean explains that while the ability training method is one of only 3 top-tier methods in the school, the real highlight is the Thunder Indestructible Body technique, the culmination of his life's work. He adds that the technique has been certified by 2 major martial arts halls and has been officially rated as S-rank. The revelation leaves Xu Jingming utterly speechless, shocked to learn of an S-rank combat technique. Combat techniques, like abilities, have their own ratings, from F to SSS. The higher the rank, the more difficult it is to master, but the more powerful it will be. Xu Jingming reflects on this, realizing the terrifying extent of his new master's talent. He knows that most 7th-level masters are exceptional if they can create an A-rank combat technique. For his master to have created an S-rank technique, his martial arts talent is terrifyingly high. Dean Yang Gentian provides more details about his S-rank technique. He explains that the Thunder Indestructible Body is only for lightning element users and has 13 levels. With each level, the user's body undergoes a transformation. However, he clarifies a crucial requirement. To begin cultivating it, one must first advance from an awakened to a true ability user. He then gives Xu Jingming his first task. He instructs him to use the Extreme Ability Training Method to achieve his breakthrough. Once Xu Jingming has advanced, he is to return, and the Dean will personally help him build the foundation for the Thunder Indestructible Body. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Xu Jingming bows deeply, thinking how much better it is to have a mentor's guidance. The Dean then shares a personal motivation, revealing he has only cultivated the technique to the 10th level. He looks at Xu Jingming with hope, stating that if he is unable to reach the peak of a martial saint, then Xu Jingming will be the greatest hope to prove the technique's potential. His eyes gleam as he reveals his ultimate guess. If one can cultivate the technique to its final level, their body can achieve a state of being eternal and indestructible. As Xu Jingming leaves his master's residence, waving goodbye to the butler, he finds Tan Mingyang sitting dejectedly on the steps outside, holding his head in despair. Xu Jingming approaches him and asks what is wrong. It is revealed that Tan Mingyang's attempt to become a disciple failed. He had to face a test against one of the dean's senior disciples. The condition was to defeat the senior, while the latter used only 1/10 of his combat power, a task Tan found hopeless, leaving him beaten. Now sitting on the steps, Tan looks up at Xu Jingming, assuming he also failed. He remarks that getting into Dean Yang's tutelage isn't easy and asks if Xu Jingming needs him to pass on some experience from his failures. Unfazed, Xu Jingming calmly declines, simply stating that he has already passed. The words hit Tan Mingyang like a physical blow. His bruised face contorts in utter disbelief. He exclaims that he has never heard of a dean-level mentor accepting a disciple before the annual freshman competition. As Xu Jingming calmly walks away, a bewildered Tan Mingyang stares after him, trying to understand what just happened. With a new objective, Xu Jingming returns to his dormitory's training room. Sitting cross-legged, he begins to cultivate using the Extreme Ability Training Method from his new master. As he meditates, he is amazed by the effectiveness of the top-tier technique, noting the amount of energy he can sense is far greater than with the intermediate-level method. A confident smirk appears on his face. Knowing he has already mastered the principles, he decides there is no need to practice it step by step. Instead, he will use his cheat system to advance directly. He accesses his system panel and commands it to use his ability points to increase his level. The effect is immediate and intense. A surge of energy courses through him, causing him to grunt in pain. He clutches his clothes as raw energy surges through his veins. The power erupts from his body in a massive blast of light and force that shakes the room. A moment later, the energy subsides. Breathing heavily, Xu Jingming pushes himself up, thinking he has successfully broken through. A notification confirms his new status as a first-tier, lower-rank ability user. He examines his hand, where stable, powerful blue lightning now crackles with ease. As he tests his control, a much larger and more potent torrent of lightning flows from his hand, a clear sign of his increased power. Clenching his fist, he marvels at the result. He can feel the power in his body has increased by at least 4 or 5 times. He confidently thinks that if he were to face the second-tier bloodthirsty tyrant bear again, his thunder ability alone would be enough to defeat it. He pulls up his system panel to check his new stats and understands why all ability users want higher-level cultivation methods. He calculates that if he had used the intermediate method, his vitality and spirit would have only increased by 30 or 40 points. But now, using the top-tier method, they have increased by almost 100 points in one go. The gap in results is undeniable. He notes the advancement only cost him 300 ability points, and he decides to save the rest. He knows that learning a powerful combat technique like the Thunder Indestructible Body is even more important. As an S-rank technique, he expects the consumption of ability points to master it will be incredibly high. With his breakthrough complete, Xu Jingming is ready for the next stage. A new thought enters his mind. Since he's at the university, perhaps it's time to visit the school's library. The next day, Xu Jingming returns to his master's residence. Dean Yang Gentian is utterly astonished to see him, questioning how he could have advanced so quickly. The dean paces, remarking that in his 20 years of teaching, he has seen countless geniuses, but even the best took a significant amount of time to transform into an ability user. He notes it has been less than 24 hours since Xu Jingming received the manual. With a bashful smile, Xu Jingming admits that perhaps the only thing he can be proud of is his advancement speed. He adds that when he tried to begin cultivating the thunder indestructible body, he found even the introductory part to be a challenge. The dean listens and explains the process. Forging the foundation involves using the blood of a lightning element beast as a guide, combined with one's own lightning, to temper the muscles and bones. He emphasizes a critical point. The final strength of the technique is related to the grade of the beast's blood used. Now that Xu Jingming has advanced, the dean declares he will help him forge the foundation that very day. He reveals that high-level lightning beasts are rare, and his original plan was to use the blood of a 7th-tier storm giant bear. However, after learning Xu Jingming was entitled to one S-rank resource every year, he made a special request. He decided to combine the resources and pleaded with the university's principal to grant Xu Jingming an even more precious SS-rank resource. With that, he presents Xu Jingming with a small vial containing a glowing red liquid, the essence blood of a ferocious 8th-tier beast, the Thunder Tyrannosaurus. Xu Jingming is deeply moved that his new teacher and the principal would go to such lengths for him. He accepts the vial and vows to repay this kindness many times over. Pleased, the dean says they should begin immediately. They move to a training room where a shirtless Xu Jingming kneels. The dean uncorks the vial and pours the potent, glowing red blood onto Xu Jingming's head and back. Xu Jingming grits his teeth, groaning as the substance makes contact. The dean warns him to bear with it, explaining the blood is highly toxic to low-level users and the intense pain is expected. Next, the dean prepares to use his own power to help. He tells Xu Jingming he will now use his A-rank Windfire True Thunder to forge the foundation, adding that the amount Xu Jingming can absorb is up to him. The dean unleashes his power, a torrent of violent, red lightning, and directs it into Xu Jingming's body. The energy surges through him, causing glowing red patterns to spread across his back and chest. The process is excruciating, and Xu Jingming throws his head back, letting out a raw scream of agony as his body is forcibly tempered by the immense power. 5 days into the tempering process, the senior disciple, Liu, is having tea with the dean's butler, Uncle Fu. Liu remarks on how resilient the new junior is to have lasted for 5 days. He reflects with some jealousy that he only lasted 2 days during his own tempering, which used weaker 7th-tier beast blood. He admits Xu Jingming's performance deserves the 8th-tier dragon-type beast's essence blood. Liu adds that with an S-rank lightning ability, he is looking forward to seeing the result of his new junior's thunder indestructible body. Suddenly, a loud crash from the training room startles them. Liu rushes upstairs, wondering if his junior's foundation forging is complete. He cautiously peeks through the door and is met with a terrifying sight. Xu Jingming stands shirtless and splattered with blood, his eyes glowing red. A chaotic aura of dark energy and blue lightning surrounds him, and he appears to have lost control, looking more like a beast than a human. Liu is frozen in fear, sensing a threatening aura from Xu Jingming like that of a top-tier ferocious beast, which makes him shudder. Lost in this primal state, Xu Jingming sees Liu in the doorway and lunges forward to attack. However, before he can strike, the commanding voice of Dean Yang Gentian roars, shouting for Jingming to wake up. The dean's shout breaks through the bloodlust, and Xu Jingming halts his attack just inches from his senior. Covered in sweat, a dazed Xu Jingming asks his teacher what happened and why he felt an overwhelming urge to destroy things. The dean explains that the essence blood of the Thunder Tyrannosaurus likely influenced his mind. He points out that the beast is famous for its ferocity, and because Xu Jingming's absorption rate and compatibility were so high, he experienced this dangerous side effect. The dean reassures him, telling him not to worry. As long as he avoids intense emotional changes, he will be fine, and the side effects will gradually disappear as his strength increases. A wave of relief washes over Xu Jingming. He looks down at his hands, expressing his fear of being controlled by his emotions. With the crisis averted, Dean Yang Gentian's tone changes to delight. He tells a confused Xu Jingming to cheer up, announcing the forging was a perfect success with an incredible 98% absorption rate. He proudly explains that among the disciples who have cultivated the Thunder Indestructible Body, the highest rate ever recorded was only 92%. With this, Xu Jingming has broken a long-standing record. His senior disciple, Liu, approaches with a congratulatory smile. He tells his new junior that with the foundation successfully forged, his future in martial arts is now smooth sailing. The dean formally introduces him as senior disciple Liu Ming, an ability user at the peak of the 3rd tier, and tells Xu Jingming to ask Liu for help with any future cultivation questions. Xu Jingming greets his senior, who promptly pulls out his phone. Liu explains that since he didn't prepare a gift, he will transfer some credits instead. Xu Jingming is shocked when a notification on his phone says he received 200 credits, exclaiming that it's too much. He quickly calculates the gift is worth 2 million Great Sha coins. The dean dismisses his concern, stating that 200 credits is not a large sum for Liu and that it is a senior's duty to care for his juniors. He adds that when Xu Jingming has his own juniors, he will also need to prepare gifts, a lesson Xu Jingming humbly accepts. With the training complete, the dean tells Xu Jingming that after 5 days without food or water, he should go back and rest. He gives him his next instructions. Come back the following morning to learn fist and spear techniques with Senior Liu. Xu Jingming gratefully thanks his teacher and leaves. Back at his luxurious villa, Xu Jingming finds a young man with spiky white hair and red eyes on the couch, focused on a video game. The young man turns, realizing he's not alone, and greets Xu Jingming, guessing he must be his new roommate. He introduces himself as Liu Wentao. When Xu Jingming introduces himself, Liu Wentao's eyes widen. He excitedly points and exclaims that he is the top scorer from Jiangnan province. When Xu Jingming asks how he knew, Liu Wentao proudly declares his nickname is Mr. Know-It-All, as he knows about most freshmen. He admits he didn't specifically look up Xu Jingming, but the stir he caused was so big he couldn't help but hear about him. He marvels that the legendary Dark Horse top scorer is his new roommate. Putting a friendly arm around his shoulder, he starts bombarding our boy with questions, asking if he is really from Zhangcheng, if he was truly just an awakened during the exam, and commenting that his ability does not look like it's only E rank. Despite the endless questions, Xu Jingming finds he likes the friendly chatterbox. He reflects that he has always hated loneliness. Flashbacks reveal his past. Growing up in an orphanage without a sense of belonging, school was better as he had friends. His happiest memories are from his college days, joking around and playing games with roommates. He recalls getting his master's and PhD, never imagining that after drinking too much at his graduation, he would wake up in a different world. He thinks about how he didn't expect to still be an orphan after transmigrating, but with a roommate like Liu Wentao, he feels he won't be lonely. Meanwhile, Liu Wentao proudly boasts that he is a top student from Sichuan province with an A-rank ability and is currently a first-tier middle-rank ability user. He declares his ambition to major in college tactics and command a military region to slaughter all the ferocious beasts on Blue Star. Changing the subject, Xu Jingming mentions he is heading to the martial arts hall. Intrigued, Liu Wentao decides to join him, admitting he hasn't visited the university's hall yet. They arrive at the impressive Thunder Martial Arts Hall, Magical University branch. Inside, they see a lively and chaotic scene, with students training and showing off their powers. The AI, Eva, appears and explains they are in the public training room, which can hold 300 people. The hall is constructed with C-rank alloy mixed with memory metal, making it durable enough to withstand damage. Eva also points out private training rooms, but Xu Jingming decides the public area is fine. Liu Wentao gets caught up in the competitive atmosphere, shouting with excitement and pointing out an A-rank enhanced werewolf user. Xu Jingming dryly comments that his roommate isn't being quiet himself. Xu Jingming then asks Eva about the large numbered pillars in the center of the room. Eva explains they are punch power challenge boards. There are 5 leaderboards, one for each of the 5 tiers of ability users. She informs them that if they get into the top 3,000 on their boards, they will receive a 50 credit reward. Liu Wentao eagerly accepts the challenge, thinking it sounds easy. Eva clarifies there are just over 4,000 students in the university. Eager for the reward, Liu Wentao decides to try. Eva instructs him to swipe his student ID to start, adding the crucial rule that abilities and combat techniques are forbidden. Liu Wentao eagerly steps up to the pillar and swipes his student ID. The AI, Eva, announces his attempt. His activation draws the attention of older students, who mockingly note he is only a first-tier, middle-rank freshman. Feeling the pressure, a determined Liu Wentao resolves not to lose face. With a loud cry, he unleashes a powerful punch, striking the pillar with impressive force. The result flashes on the screen, a punch power of 476 kilograms. Pleased, Liu Wentao thinks he didn't embarrass himself, and getting into the top 3,000 should be no problem. His pride is short-lived, as Eva delivers a devastating update. His rank is beyond 100,000. Liu Wentao is left in shock, screaming in disbelief and questioning how this is possible with only about 4,000 students at the university. Ava coldly clarifies the leaderboard tallies the scores of all students since the university's founding 100 years ago. The humiliating realization dawns on Liu Wentao. The crowd was waiting to see him make a fool of himself. The older students erupt in laughter, with one remarking how hilarious it is. As his roommate wallows in embarrassment, Xu Jingming offers some consolation, reminding him that as a spiritual element user, physical punch power isn't his strength. A grateful Liu Wentao encourages Xu Jingming to try, certain he will be stronger. Xu Jingming agrees, admitting he wanted to test his strength anyway. He swipes his ID and Eva announces his challenge. The crowd's attention shifts to him, but they are even more dismissive, noting he seems weaker, at a first-tier, lower rank. They doubt his punch power will even reach 400 kilograms. However, one onlooker finds the name Xu Jingming strangely familiar. Meanwhile, Xu Jingming is confident. He reflects on his recent progress, advancing to a first-tier ability user and tempering his body for 5 days and nights to forge his new technique's foundation. A quick check of his system panel confirms his new stats, including an enhanced physique and the Thunder Indestructible Body First skill. He clenches his fist, eager to see what level his punch power has reached. With a surge of power, he throws a punch, and the impact creates a powerful shockwave that ripples through the air. The powerful shockwave from Xu Jingming's punch ripples through the air, stunning the crowd in the martial arts hall. A digital screen shows the incredible result, a fist power of 4,589 kilograms. This score not only puts him first on the leaderboard, but also shatters the long-standing record for first-tier ability users. The older students who had been mocking him are left in disbelief. One exclaims the record has been broken, while another questions how a lower-rank first-tier user could have such immense power. A third student grimly points out that a punch with that force could turn him into meat paste, finding it impossible to believe this is a freshman. 2 female students in the crowd are equally astonished. One comments that the top 1,000 on the leaderboard are figures who lead the era, wondering how exceptional the new #1 must be. Her friend adds the record had stood for over 10 years and feels she must record the historic moment. His roommate, Liu Wentao, is ecstatic, grabbing Xu Jingming and declaring he is truly his brother and will follow him from now on. A smiling Xu Jingming modestly tells him not to exaggerate. Looking at his fist, Xu Jingming inwardly reflects, pleased with the outcome. He concludes the Thunder Tyrannosaurus's essence blood is highly compatible with him, and the improvement in his strength was immediate. The AI, Eva, floats nearby and formally congratulates Xu Jingming for breaking the record, announcing a 400 credit reward has been issued to his account. A curious Xu Jingming asks if he can earn more credits by breaking the record again. Eva clarifies the reward is only for the first time, but he can challenge the other level pillars for new rewards. Xu Jingming looks up at the other 4 pillars for 2nd to 5th tier users and decides he will break those records later. Meanwhile, his roommate has become a hype man as a group of impressed female students gather around Liu Wentao, who points out his amazing roommate. The girls quickly swarm a bewildered Xu Jingming, with some offering to teach him how to use equipment and others trying to recruit him for their club. Overwhelmed, Xu Jingming is pulled away by Liu Wentao, who suggests they escape to a private training room. Elsewhere, at his master's residence, Dean Yang Gentian is enjoying tea. His senior disciple, Liu Ming, shows him his phone, reporting that his junior brother Xu is a hot topic on the campus forums. Dean Yang Gentian marvels at our boy's exaggerated physical strength, questioning why he ran off to break records instead of resting. Liu Ming then reflects on his own past. He recalls when he was a high-rank first-tier user and had just mastered the first layer of the Thunder Indestructible Body. His fist power was only a little over 3,500 kilograms. He concludes with awe that his new junior brother is much more than just a little stronger than he was. In a luxurious apartment, a young man with dark hair and a brown jacket stares at his phone. Suddenly, he erupts in rage, slamming his hand on the marble countertop. The glass beside him shatters as his hand is covered in orange flames and blue lightning. He fumes, cursing that Xu Jingming has also come to Magic Capital. Clenching his fiery fist, his face contorts with anger. He thinks about how Xu Jingming's success made him miss his chance to be the top scorer of Jiangnan province, turning him into a laughingstock in his home city. He fiercely vows that this time, he will take back all the honor he believes is his. Meanwhile, back in his university's training room, Xu Jingming sits calmly, holding a small knife. He reflects on the effects of his new Thunder Indestructible Body technique, marveling that even after 5 grueling days of tempering without food or rest, he is still full of energy. To test his new durability, he lightly drags the sharp blade across his hand. The knife makes a metallic sound but fails to break the skin, leaving only a faint white mark. He is impressed, realizing his body's defense is now like E-grade alloy, making him invulnerable to ordinary blades. He concludes it is truly a worthy S-grade body refinement technique. Just then, his roommate Liu Wentao bursts in, calling his name excitedly. He informs Xu Jingming that the news of him breaking the record has caused an explosion on the campus forum. He adds that countless students are posting replies, saying they want to challenge him. Far from being annoyed, a competitive smirk plays on Xu Jingming's lips. He remarks to himself that the martial spirit at Magic University is indeed quite strong. Seeing the challenges, a protective Liu Wentao holds up his phone and angrily offers to help his roommate by crushing the self-overestimating guys online. Xu Jingming calmly pushes his roommate's arm down, telling him to forget it and not waste his time. He explains he has more important things to do, as he is heading to the Battle Technique Library, and tells Liu Wentao to head back to the dorm. Xu Jingming arrives at the massive and modern Battle Technique Library. As he approaches the entrance, he holds his hand out to a scanner, and a complex, glowing orange security circle appears, confirming the building's advanced protection. He is amazed by the security, recalling a rumor the library is personally guarded by the university's vice principal, a legendary 9th-tier superpower user. He realizes that with such a powerful figure watching over it, even the strongest martial saints couldn't steal the treasures inside. After swiping his student ID card, he passes through the gate, and the security circle scans him one last time before letting him in. Inside the grand hall, he is greeted by a trio of female librarians. The one in the center warmly welcomes him by name, addressing him as S-grade student Xu Jingming and asking how they can help. Surprised they know him, Xu Jingming asks how they knew his name. The librarian politely explains that students with S-grade authority, like him, are special and have access to all battle techniques. Their system automatically notified them when he scanned his ID. The librarian's thoughts reveal her true motivation. She understands that S-grade authority means his future is destined to be at least that of a Grandmaster-level user. She makes a mental note to befriend him. Xu Jingming tells the librarian he is interested in lightning element superpower battle techniques and asks which floor he should go to. The librarian informs him that techniques of B grade and below are on the 2nd and 3rd floors, but the more precious ones are in a special reading room on the 4th floor. She adds that he can get in by swiping his card. She then personally leads him to the 4th floor, into an elegant private reading room. Inside, a small floating AI device hovers over a table. The AI explains that once he selects techniques online, the original secret manuals will be delivered to him. She kindly warns him to be careful when handling them. Left alone, Xu Jingming commands the AI to display all lightning element battle techniques of B grade and above. In response, the AI projects dozens of blue holographic screens that fill the room, each showing a different technique. As he looks through the selection, 2 techniques catch his eye. The first is an SSS-grade technique called 10,000 Prisons Heavenly Thunder Guidance, which creates a massive thunderstorm domain. However, it is restricted to users who are at least 5th tier. The second is an SS-grade technique named Wrath of the Thunder God, which summons powerful thunder. This one is also restricted, requiring a user to be at least 4th tier. Xu Jingming is in awe of the quality of the techniques, seeing SS-grade and even SSS-grade options. He marvels at how rich the university's collection of secret manuals is, and wonders if he can view them for free. His excitement fades as he realizes the cultivation of these powerful techniques has strict requirements. With his current status, he can only learn A-grade battle techniques for now. He sees countless A-grade options, noting that choosing would be incredibly difficult without his teacher's guidance. Fortunately, he came prepared. He pulls out a recommendation list from his master, Dean Yang Zhentian, which saves him time. Using the list, he interacts with the holographic displays, pointing out his desired techniques. He makes his final decision, choosing 4 specific A-grade techniques. The first is Thunder Spear, an offensive technique. The second is Chain Thunder Gun, a sustained attack. The third is Thunder Flash, a movement technique. The final one is Thunder Prison, a control technique. He mentally categorizes his new skills. Thunder Spear for ranged strikes. Chain Thunder Gun for sustained attacks, Thunder Flash for movement, and Thunder Prison for crowd control. He confidently believes that with these 4 battle techniques and his S-rank Thunder Indestructible body, his combat style will have hardly any flaws. The AI, Eva, analyzes his selection, informing him the average time to learn each A-grade technique to an elementary level is 6 months. It recommends mixing in lower-level techniques for a more balanced approach. However, Xu Jingming confidently dismisses the advice. A short while later, the librarian returns, presenting him with the 4 physical manuals for his chosen techniques. As he reaches for them, Xu Jingming marvels at how luxurious they are. He reflects on their market value, knowing even C-grade secret manuals cost millions, making these 4 priceless A-grade originals an incredible treasure. As he opens the first manual, a golden light shines from its pages. He is struck by the profound artistic conception and powerful aura, realizing it is an experience a copy could never reproduce. He settles down and begins to study the manuals intently. As hours go by, his focus turns to frustration. Sweat beads on his forehead as he clutches his head, struggling to comprehend the complex content. Despite the difficulty, he perseveres, turning page after page. After a long study period, he leans back, having finished all 4 manuals. He then calls out to his system, Deep Blue, and commands it to add points. The system responds instantly. 4 notifications appear, confirming 200 superpower points have been consumed for each technique, and all 4 have been successfully learned to the elementary level. He then pulls up his system panel to view his updated status. His new skills, Thunder Spear, Thunder Flash, A-grade Chain Thunder Gun, and Thunder Prison, are all listed at the elementary level. His body refinement technique, Thunder Indestructible Body, remains at the first layer, and his available superpower points have decreased to 1434. Standing up, Xu Jingming clenches his fist, a faint aura of power around him. Having acquired so many powerful battle techniques, he looks upward with a confident and predatory expression, wondering which lucky person will be the first to taste the power of his new arsenal. In their luxurious villa at night, Liu Wentao sits on the couch and tells Xu Jingming about a notification from Eva. The freshman assembly is the next day at Training Ground 1. He also mentions a new group chat for the freshmen and suggests Xu Jingming should join. Xu Jingming calmly agrees. Liu Wentao then asks what level of combat techniques Xu Jingming chose at the library. Xu Jingming casually replies that he picked up 4 A-rank combat techniques. This answer shocks Liu Wentao. He exclaims that learning 4 A-rank techniques would normally take a student until their sophomore or junior year. He concludes that his roommate doesn't take the usual route. Liu Wentao's curiosity grows. He realizes that to browse A-rank techniques, Xu Jingming must have A-rank permission. Xu Jingming corrects him, stating his permission level is S-rank. The revelation stuns Liu Wentao, who jumps to his feet. He shouts in disbelief, questioning why the school would have a permission level higher than A-rank. A sudden realization dawns on him, and he stammers that the online rumors about Xu Jingming being E-rank must be false, asking in shock if it means Xu Jingming has an S-rank superpower. Xu Jingming simply smiles, teasingly remarking that the know-it-all has just learned something new. The confirmation leaves Liu Wentao in awe. He exclaims that he had guessed Xu Jingming's rating was high, but he never expected it to be S-rank, especially since other provincial top scorers are only A-rank. A wide, happy grin spreads across his face. He gives a thumbs up, thinking it was the right decision to become a fan now, solidifying his status as an old fan. Later, Xu Jingming is in the second-floor training room. He holds a practice spear but finds it too light. He thinks that now that he has the combat techniques he needs, he also needs the right equipment. He reflects that his original F-rank obsidian spear is back home and would no longer be suitable for his current strength. He decides to get new gear. He asks the AI, Eva, to open the school mall and search for spear-type weapons. Eva complies, and holographic displays appear, showing spears from F-rank to D-rank. Xu Jingming notes he can customize the length and weight. He understands higher-ranked equipment is heavier and more expensive. He chooses an E-rank 210-kilogram spear, along with an E-rank combat suit and boots. He confirms the purchase. A notification shows the total cost is 237 credits, leaving him with 382.6. The purchase is confirmed for delivery the next day. He thinks with a bit of dismay how quickly his credits disappeared, shrinking by nearly half. With his new gear on the way, he grips the practice spear with a determined look. He knows he'll have to rely on this temporary weapon. With a confident smirk, he declares that tonight it will help him practice his 4 new A-rank combat techniques. The next day, the freshmen of Modu Superpower University gather for their assembly. As Xu Jingming arrives, he immediately draws the attention of the other students. Murmurs spread as they recognize him as the one who broke the school's punch power record. They also identify him as the Jiangnan province top scorer, marveling at his strength and handsome appearance. Before he can find a seat, he is confronted by a tall, imposing young man named Lei Zhou, who aggressively points and loudly issues a challenge. Onlookers immediately recognize him as the second-place scorer from Jiangnan province, who scored over 9,300. They gossip about his privileged background, noting both of his parents are powerful Tier 4 superpowered beings. They sympathetically remark that it's a shame no one remembers second place, making his unwillingness to accept his loss understandable. Despite the public challenge, Xu Jingming is unfazed. He calmly declines, stating he is not interested, a response that shocks his roommate Liu Wentao. Lei Zhou, however, smirks and tells him not to refuse so quickly. He then brings up a personal matter, recalling that Xu Jingming's aunt's family runs a business selling rare plants. Leaning in with a menacing grin, he reveals his family is his aunt's biggest customer, and she also owes them a large loan. He then delivers a thinly veiled threat, suggesting that if the payment isn't made on time, his aunt's family might find themselves in trouble. The threat instantly changes the atmosphere. Xu Jingming's expression turns cold as a fierce, dark blue aura erupts from his body. He quietly asks if Lei Zhou is threatening him. The sheer pressure of his aura physically forces a startled Lei Zhou to step back. Sweating and shaken, Lei Zhou struggles to comprehend the fierce, beast-like presence. He quickly backpedals, stammering that it wasn't a threat, just a heads up. Having made his point, Xu Jingming's aura subsides. He calmly asks for the time and place for their duel. Regaining his composure, Lei Zhou declares the fight will be in 7 days, at noon, on Broadcast Platform 3. Xu Jingming accepts, warning his new rival not to regret his decision. The confrontation creates a buzz of excitement among the watching students, who eagerly anticipate the upcoming battle. Shortly after, the assembly officially begins. An older, gray-bearded university official takes the stage. He welcomes them to the freshman assembly, clarifying it is a session to answer questions about the university's systems. However, he announces the first thing he wants to introduce is the school's combat power ranking. He explains students will use a virtual dive pod for holographic combat simulations, and their ranking will be determined by the number of levels they can pass. He encourages everyone to try their best, emphasizing the rewards are very generous. After the hour-long meeting, aboard Xu Jingming lets out a large yawn. He thinks the only interesting part was the virtual dive pod, which he should try sometime. For now, his priority for the next few days is to continue his daily training with his senior, Liu Ming, and his mentor. For 7 days, Xu Jingming dedicates himself to intense training under his senior Liu Ming and his master, Dean Yang Gentian. After the week of training, Liu Ming approaches Xu Jingming with astonishment. He notes his junior brother has already advanced to the mid-level of the first tier and asks how it happened so quickly. Xu Jingming simply smiles and says it was just luck. However, his inner thoughts reveal the truth. He had deliberately waited a few days before using his system to level up, which made the advancement cost only 380 superpower points. He muses that if he had leveled up any faster, he probably would have scared his senior silly. Changing the subject, Liu Ming remembers the duel and asks if Xu Jingming has a match scheduled for noon. Xu Jingming confirms he does. With a confident smile, Liu Ming pats his junior on the shoulder and says he will observe 3 minutes of silence for his opponent. He decides to accompany Xu Jingming to the match. The scene shifts to Broadcast Platform 3, a large arena where a crowd has gathered. Lei Zhou enters the ring with his friends. One notes it's a good chance to see the top scorer's strength. Another dismisses Xu Jingming's high score as a fluke and bets Lei Zhou will win. When someone mentions Xu Jingming broke the punch power record, Lei Zhou scoffs, arguing a physical record is meaningless when superpowers are what truly matter. Just then, Xu Jingming makes his entrance with Liu Ming. Dressed in a new black coat and carrying his new spear, his arrival causes a stir. As Xu Jingming walks towards the ring, Liu Ming thinks with amusement that with his junior's handsome looks, he will undoubtedly charm countless female students once he achieves success. From the ring, Lei Zhou observes his opponent's aura and notes Xu Jingming's rank has increased. However, he remains confident, thinking he has other preparations. Seeking to raise the stakes, Lei Zhou proposes they add a wager, all of their credits. Xu Jingming accepts without hesitation, stating he has 370 credits. Impressed, Lei Zhou says he will cover any shortfall in his own credits with cash. He proposes they both transfer their credits to the account of Old Master Zhou. a neutral third party. The teacher presiding over the match is a woman with blonde hair tied in a ponytail, called Jo Yun, a powerful Tier 6, mid-level, healing-type, superpowered being. As he completes the credit transfer, Xu Jingming notes the presence of the high-tier healer, Teacher Jo Yun. He understands battles between superpowered beings are dangerous and realizes the school has taken precautions to prevent deaths. He agrees to the terms. The crowd buzzes with excitement as the massive wager, worth 3.7 million in currency, is confirmed. Teacher Jo Yun steps forward to officiate. She confirms she has received the credits and instructs them to prepare. She lays out the rules. If one person admits defeat or loses consciousness, the other is forbidden from continuing the attack. Both Xu Jingming and Lei Zhou calmly acknowledge they understand. The two opponents face each other. Xu Jingming stands ready with his spear, while Lei Zhou draws his sword. With grim determination, Lei Zhou unleashes his A-rank fire ability, Dense Pine Industry Fire. A vortex of intense orange flames erupts around him as he declares he will take back all the honor Xu Jingming made him lose. The power of his ability impresses the crowd, who marvel at the terrifying force of an A-rank fire superpower. Wreathed in flames, Lei Zhou charges forward. He leaps and brings his sword down in a powerful, raging flame slash. In response, Xu Jingming simply stands his ground and swings his spear in a basic upward arc. To everyone's astonishment, his simple block completely neutralizes the flaming sword strike. The audience is stunned. They can't believe Xu Jingming didn't use a combat technique and still blocked such a powerful move. They exclaim in shock that a normal attack just broke a big special move. Lei Zhou himself is left speechless, gritting his teeth in disbelief. With his opponent's attack nullified, Xu Jingming looks at him with cold indifference. Purple lightning begins to crackle around him as he tells Lei Zhou that nothing is impossible. The only reason it seems so is because Lei Zhou is simply too weak. Before his rival can react, Xu Jingming launches a devastating counterattack. Surrounded by a torrent of purple lightning, he lunges forward and strikes Lei Zhou squarely in the chest, sending him flying backward. The purple lightning from Xu Jingming's attack courses through Lei Zhou's body, making him cry out in agony. The force of the blow sends his sword flying amidst a spray of blood as he is thrown backward. He lands hard on the floor of the ring, slumping over in defeat as smoke rises from his body. The crowd is stunned by the swift and decisive outcome. Lei Zhou's supporters are in disbelief, with one exclaiming that the fight is over after only 2 moves from Xu Jingming. Another angrily questions the claim that Lei Zhou was stronger now that he's been instantly defeated. The onlookers agree that Xu Jingming's strength is on a completely different level from the other freshmen. Watching from the sidelines, Liu Ming looks completely unimpressed. He thinks to himself that the match was too boring and didn't even make his junior brother use 1/10 of his real power. Back in the ring, Teacher Jo Yun begins to announce the winner. However, a wounded Lei Zhou struggles to his feet, calling out to her. He grits his teeth, insisting he is not lost, and the match is not over. In a desperate move, he pulls out a small, red pill. Teacher Jo Yun immediately recognizes it, shouting in alarm and identifying it as a rampaging blood pill. She warns him against taking it, telling him this is just a match and not worth risking his life. The audience also recognizes the dangerous item. They murmur that while the pill can boost a user's strength several times over for a short period, it has severe side effects that could leave him bedridden for months. They question if the risk is worth it. With a major university competition only a month away, Lei Zhou ignores their concerns, stating that he will bear any consequences himself. He is determined to take the gamble and will accept his loss only if he is defeated after this. In the crowd, some students, including Liu Wentao, protest, asking if using a performance-enhancing drug is allowed. Teacher Jo Yun addresses the complaints, clarifying that since this is an unofficial battle, there are no strict rules. She explains that weapons, combat suits, and drugs are all considered permissible resources. As she speaks, Lei Zhou swallows the pill. She finishes by stating that if Xu Jingming had a similar pill, he would also be allowed to use it. As the pill takes effect, Lei Zhou's body erupts in an even more intense fire aura. His eyes begin to glow with a menacing orange light as he roars with newfound power. Teacher Jo Yun watches with a worried expression, noting the pill is high grade and has boosted Lei Zhou's power to the lower level of the second tier. She concludes that Xu Jingming is now in serious trouble. Faced with his opponent's desperate power-up, Xu Jingming's own battle intent surges, becoming even more potent as a torrent of purple lightning erupts around him. From the sidelines, Teacher Jo Yun observes this with approval, thinking that Xu Jingming's fighting spirit is becoming even more vigorous and that he has the mindset of a great general. Gripping his spear, a confident smile plays on Xu Jingming's lips. He thinks to himself that finally, the fight is no longer like an adult beating up a child. He takes a single step forward, and the lightning around his combat boots shatters the floor of the ring. He then charges at his opponent with blinding speed. Lei Zhou is shocked by his incredible velocity. The two fighters clash in the center of the ring, their superpowered attacks meeting with explosive force. Lei Zhou blocks Xu Jingming's initial thrust, but the raw power behind the attack is overwhelming. The force of the blow sends Lei Zhou staggering backward, forcing him to his knees to absorb the impact. Still surrounded by his wavering flames, he grits his teeth in disbelief. He can't understand how, even with his strength boosted to the second tier, he is still no match for Xu Jingming. He wonders what kind of monster he is facing. Realizing a head-on fight is useless, Lei Zhou changes his strategy. He decides that if he can't win a direct clash, he will attack from a distance. He leaps back and launches a volley of powerful fireballs at Xu Jingming. However, his ranged attack is met with casual disdain. Xu Jingming effortlessly swings his spear in a wide arc, creating a vortex of lightning that deflects all the fireballs. He mockingly asks if that is all Lei Zhou has. Frustrated and sweating, Lei Zhou curses his opponent's flawless lightning ability. He desperately clings to a new hope, thinking that he can no longer get close. But if he can exhaust Xu Jingming's power before his drug boost wears off, he might still have a chance. But Xu Jingming has no intention of letting the fight drag on. He decides to end it. He raises his hand and summons a massive amount of purple energy, condensing it into a solid spear of pure, crackling lightning. His A-rank technique, Thunder Spear. He hurls the condensed energy weapon at his opponent. The spear flies through the air and slams directly into Lei Zhou's shoulder, piercing his defenses. Stumbling back in shock and pain, clutching his wound, Lei Zhou has a horrifying realization. His opponent also has a devastating long-range attack. Before Lei Zhou can recover, Xu Jingming follows up with another technique. A powerful sphere of lightning materializes above Lei Zhou, and torrents of purple energy rain down, electrocuting him. Stunned and in pain, he looks up, wondering what new battle technique this is. With a cold expression, Xu Jingming points forward and declares the name of his A-rank control skill, Thunder Prison. A cage of crackling purple lightning forms around Lei Zhou, trapping him completely. He curses, realizing he is caught in a restriction-type technique. In a desperate move, he summons his remaining power to create a flame barrier, a swirling vortex of fire around his body. Trapped but defiant, he taunts Xu Jingming, declaring that if he can't get out, then Xu Jingming can't get in, challenging him to a battle of attrition. Xu Jingming, however, is unfazed. He looks at the fiery defense with disdain, thinking the flame barrier looks weak and wondering how many of his attacks it could withstand. Instead of a battle of wills, he leaps high into the air, easily clearing the flame barrier and positioning himself directly above his trapped opponent. While airborne, he unleashes his ultimate assault. He summons his power, and dozens of massive, glowing purple spears of pure lightning materialize in the air, all aimed at the helpless Lei Zhou. The deadly rain of lightning spears begins to descend, a technique that looks like a devastating version of his chain thunder gun. Looking up at the overwhelming attack, Lei Zhou is filled with absolute terror. He knows with certainty that if he is hit by that barrage, he will die. With his life on the line, his pride shatters, and he screams out his surrender. At the very last second, just as Lei Zhou shouts his concession, the tip of the lead lightning spear stops just inches from his eye. The rain of spears dissipates as Xu Jingming lands gracefully in the ring. In a final definitive motion, he thrusts his physical spear forward, piercing Lei Zhou's chest and leaving no doubt as to who the victor is. Xu Jingming withdraws his spear from Lei Zhou's chest, leaving him kneeling and defeated on the floor. With a commanding presence, Xu Jingming stands over his opponent as teacher Zhou Yun officially declares him the winner. The crowd is left in shock and awe. They exclaim that it was a complete and utter crushing defeat. They marvel at how Xu Jingming flawlessly chained together 4 different battle techniques in just a few seconds, a feat far beyond what any normal freshman should be capable of. 2 students discuss the power of the techniques they witnessed. One guesses they must all be at least B grade. His friend is amazed, admitting the best technique he has learned is only C grade. Watching from the sidelines, Liu Ming overhears their speculation and looks stressed. He thinks to himself that they are severely underestimating his junior brother. He knows the truth. Xu Jingming had dared to choose 4 A-grade techniques and had already mastered them to a combat-ready level. He reflects on his own experience, recalling that he had only dared to choose a single A-grade technique as a freshman, and it still took him over 4 months to learn. He admits that having such a monstrously talented junior brother puts a great deal of pressure on him. Back in the ring, a humbled Lei Zhou gets to his feet. He sincerely thanks Xu Jingming for sparing his life and accepts his complete defeat. He promises the wagered credits and cash are now his and assures him he will make the payment owed to his aunt's business on time. Teacher Zhou Yun approaches Xu Jingming and confirms the transfer of his winnings. 50 credits and 3.2 million in currency have been deposited into his student account. Xu Jingming thinks that a gambling fight is a quick way to make money. With the duel over, Liu Wentao rushes down to the ring, ecstatic. He congratulates brother Ming, telling him he is now a rich man, and invites him to go out and relax in the city center that evening to celebrate. Xu Jingming begins to decline, explaining he has training scheduled with his senior. However, Liu Ming, standing nearby, encourages him to go, advising him that a proper balance of training and relaxation is the key to long-term success. Taking his senior's advice, Xu Jingming agrees to go out. As they prepare to leave, Liu Wentao excitedly points towards Liu Ming, gushing about his reputation as the vice president of the Ash Club, a user of an A-rank lightning superpower. As he and Xu Jingming walk off together, Liu Wentao comments that the famous senior is even more impressive in person. As they leave the arena, Liu Wentao tells Xu Jingming to just follow his lead, as he has arranged the entire program for the evening. A slightly suspicious Xu Jingming looks back and asks what kind of program he is talking about. Liu Wentao turns with a wide, mischievous grin and points at his friend. He reveals his grand plan, the one unmissable event of university life, a social mixer between the male and female dormitories. A table is lavishly spread with food for a social gathering. Liu Wentao approaches Xu Jingming, who is seated at the table. He excitedly tells Xu Jingming how popular he has become, explaining that he posted an invitation for a social mixer on the campus forum. Liu Wentao reveals that over 100 people registered, and he had a hard time choosing who to invite. Xu Jingming smiles and comments on his friend's dedication, asking who he finally chose. Liu Wentao playfully tells him it's a secret for now, but he will meet them soon. Just then, he spots the guests arriving and calls them over. Two young women approach. One, wearing glasses, introduces herself as Qi Dongxia, the invited guest. Her companion, a girl with dark hair, introduces herself as her roommate, Song Qiuqiu. Liu Wentao proudly introduces them to Xu Jingming, highlighting their abilities. He explains that Qi Dongxia has an A-rank beast-type ability, while Song Qiuqiu is a high-level first-tier user with an A-rank light element ability, and was also the top scorer in her province. Xu Jingming politely introduces himself. Upon hearing his name, Song Qiuqiu's expression shifts to one of surprise. She immediately asks Xu Jingming if he would be interested in a sparring match, telling him he can pick the time and place. Her friend, Qi Dongxia, calls her a battle maniac for trying to set up a fight right after meeting, reminding her they were there to socialize. Song Qiuqiu admits that her main reason for coming was the chance to spar with Xu Jingming. Xu Jingming steps in to smooth things over, inviting them to sit down. Liu Wentao clarifies that the plan is just to have fun, eat, and go shopping together. The group spends the evening at the bustling Huaihai commercial street. Song Qiuqiu looks up at the towering skyscrapers, in awe of how magnificent the city is. As they walk, Qi Dongxia admires the clothes in a window, while Xu Jingming notices the wide array of high-end equipment for superpowered individuals, including A-rank weapons. He observes a display of blades and elixirs, thinking this commercial center offers a far greater selection of gear than his hometown of Jiangcheng. Their outing continues as they enjoy some street food together. Later, they browse a clothing boutique. As the girls shop, Xu Jingming offers to hold Song Qiuqiu's shopping bag, and their hands briefly touch as he takes it. Afterward, Xu Jingming watches as the two girls walk ahead, looking at a jewelry display. By the end of the evening, Xu Jingming is holding many shopping bags, surprised they spent several million in just a few hours. Liu Wentao remarks that despite Song Qiuqiu's simple style, she is quite a wealthy young woman. When Xu Jingming seems curious, Liu Wentao leans in to explain that her family background is also incredibly powerful. Just then, Qi Dongxia cheerfully calls out to them to help carry one final bag, while Song Qiuqiu thinks it is probably time to head back. The night ends with Xu Jingming and Liu Wentao walking the girls back to their impressive villa. Song Qiuqiu tells the boys that they had a lot of fun. Both Xu Jingming and Liu Wentao wave goodbye as the girls head towards their home. However, before leaving, Song Chu-kyu stops and faces Xu Jingming with a serious expression. She tells him she was serious earlier and promises that one day she will formally challenge him to a sparring match. Her determined declaration surprises Xu Jingming for a moment, but he quickly recovers, a confident smile on his face as he accepts her challenge, saying he is looking forward to it. Song Chu-kyu seems pleased before turning to go inside. Once inside, Chi Dongxia begins to tease her friend. She remarks that she has never seen Song Chu-kyu show a pleasant expression to any boy since they started university, with Xu Jingming as the only exception. She happily concludes it was a great idea to bring her. Song Chu-kyu explains the reason for her usual coldness. She reveals her A-rank light element ability lets her perceive the inner thoughts of others, so she is constantly exposed to the impure thoughts of the boys around her. However, she says Xu Jingming is different. Her ability revealed he only holds a sense of appreciation with no impure intentions. She concludes thoughtfully that he is special. Hearing this, Chi Dongxia gets a mischievous look, teasingly concluding that Miss Song has developed a crush. Meanwhile, as the boys walk back, Liu Wentao sighs with satisfaction, commenting that it's nice to relax once in a while, and Xu Jingming quietly agrees. Xu Jingming, however, is lost in thought. He reflects on Song Chu-kyu and her high-level status, realizing he still has a long way to go. The thought motivates him to work hard and grow even stronger. 15 days later, Xu Jingming is meditating in his training room. Sensing he is ready, he decides it is time to level up and commands his system, Deep Blue, to use his points for an upgrade. A violent surge of purple lightning erupts from his body. System notifications confirm he is undergoing a dual advancement from a mid-level to a high-level first-tier user, while also leveling up his Thunder Indestructible Body technique to its second level. As the energy subsides, Xu Jingming reflects on his progress. He notes the rank up has significantly increased his power, and that the second level of his body tempering technique is focused on strengthening his bones and muscles. He then consults the training manual, which reveals that upon reaching the third level, he will unlock a special ability called the Thunder Extreme State, which provides a temporary but immense boost to power and speed. He pulls up his system panel to check his new status. While pleased, he is disappointed to see he only has 62 ability points left, not enough to reach the next level. He realizes it is time to ask his master for leave to go to the wilderness, hunt beasts, and get more ability points. Later, when Xu Jingming visits his master's residence, Dean Yang Gentian is shocked by his rapid advancement, asking if he has broken through again. Xu Jingming calmly confirms his progress from the previous night, also mentioning his body tempering technique has reached the second level. The dean is inwardly amazed, thinking his student speaks of difficult breakthroughs as if they were simple. He concludes that with an S-rank ability and such hard training, there is nothing Xu Jingming cannot achieve. His senior disciple, Liu Ming, remarks that his junior brother is a monster, recalling it took him half a year to make the same advancement. Dean Gentian tells Xu Jingming that leveling up is important, but he must not neglect combat training. To test his new strength, the dean suggests a sparring match against his senior, Liu Ming, which Xu Jingming eagerly accepts. In the training room, Liu Ming says he will suppress his own power to that of a low-level second-tier user, instructing Xu Jingming to fight with full strength. After a countdown, the match begins. Both warriors leap forward, and their spears meet in the center with a powerful clash, erupting in a brilliant explosion of purple and green energy. The force of their clash leaves Liu Ming surprised. He thinks to himself that his junior brother's power is incredibly strong, almost on par with his own, even with his power suppressed. Xu Jingming, covered in purple lightning, feels a thrill of excitement. He realizes that for the first time since getting his system, he is facing an opponent of equal strength. Deciding to press his advantage, Xu Jingming concentrates a sphere of lightning in his hand and unleashes his Thunder Prison technique. The massive orb of electricity flies across the room, forcing Liu Ming to defend himself. Before his senior can recover, Xu Jingming leaps and follows up with another attack, throwing a volley of lightning spears in a move like his Chain Thunder Gun technique. Liu Ming recognizes the combination of skills. With a smirk, he notes that this is the same combination that defeated Lei Zhou, but declares that he is no mere freshman. He gathers his own power and unleashes a devastating counterattack, a massive torrent of teal-colored lightning called Jade Pivot True Thunder. 20 minutes later, the intense battle is over. An exhausted Xu Jingming leans on his spear for support. He concedes the match, admitting that his divine thunder energy is depleted and that he has lost. Liu Ming, however, reassures him. He explains that Xu Jingming did not lose because of skill, but was simply at a disadvantage due to lower energy reserves. Their master, Dean Yang Gentian, approaches them, praising the fight as an exciting spectacle. He admits Xu Jingming's performance far exceeded his expectations. He had thought Liu Ming would win easily, but instead they were so evenly matched, the outcome was decided by a battle of attrition. Liu Ming then asks his junior brother if he is aware of the true level his combat power reached during their fight. When Xu Jingming looks back, puzzled, Liu Ming makes a stunning declaration. His power is now unrivaled in the second tier. The weight of this new assessment leaves Xu Jingming looking thoughtful and determined. After the intense sparring session, Dean Yang Gentian announces that the training is over and tells everyone to rest. The butler, Uncle Fu, brings over a tray of spirit fruits, explaining they are perfect for recovering after training. Seizing the moment, Xu Jingming approaches his master with a request. He reveals his intention. He is preparing to leave the university to go on a trip to the wilderness. The dean is taken aback and asks how long he plans to be gone. Xu Jingming explains he intends to stay for over a month, planning to return just before the freshman competition. The long duration of the trip clearly worries his master. With a stern expression, the dean warns him that the wilderness is far more dangerous than the exam grounds. He explains there is no army protection, and beasts roam without predictable patterns, making it easy to encounter a high-level creature. He emphasizes the dangers of staying for over a month are immense. However, seeing his disciple's determination, the dean relents. He decides that if Xu Jingming is set on going, he will not stop him. He places a firm hand on his student's shoulder, giving him one piece of advice. If a situation ever looks bad, he must flee without hesitation. The dean explains that the path to becoming powerful is filled with life and death crises, and since his disciple is so ambitious, he will not stand in his way. Xu Jingming bows his head in gratitude, thanking his master for his understanding. The dean then asks which wilderness area he plans to visit. As Xu Jingming takes a spirit fruit from Liu Ming, he replies that he is heading to the wilderness near Yuanshui City. This news seems to relieve the dean, who notes the area is next to Magic Capital, and the beasts there only go up to Tier 4 or 5, making it a relatively safer choice. He tells Xu Jingming that he will have Liu Ming share some valuable experience with him later, an offer Xu Jingming accepts. As a final gesture of support, the dean explains that since he cannot offer much help while he is away, he will at least provide him with a suitable weapon. A glowing ring on his finger begins to shine with a bright teal light, and he takes Xu Jingming's hand, preparing to give him his gift. Back in his dorm room, Xu Jingming sits on his bed, his new spear and a packed bag beside him. He asks the AI, Eva, to open the university's mission system. As holographic screens appear, he recalls the advice his senior disciple, Liu Ming, gave him. Before leaving for the wilderness, it is a good idea to accept some missions to earn extra credits. He looks through the list, noting the variety of tasks available, such as collecting beast materials, gathering rare herbs, and capturing fugitives. The rewards vary by difficulty, with C and D rank missions offering modest credits, while S and A rank missions offer much more. Xu Jingming observes that all the high-reward missions involve combat, remarking to himself that this must be the training model of Modu University, pushing its students into dangerous situations to grow stronger. He remembers a saying that the most outstanding students are not found on campus but out in the world. With this in mind, he selects 1 A rank and 3 B rank missions for his trip. With his preparations complete, Xu Jingming puts on his new combat attire, slings his backpack over his shoulder, and prepares to leave. As Eva wishes him good luck, he thinks to himself that there is no time to waste and he must set out immediately. His journey takes him to the Yuanshui City Supply Base, a bustling town in a mountainous region that serves as a forward base for those venturing into the wilderness. The streets are filled with adventurers trying to recruit members for their beast hunting teams. Xu Jingming arrives, taking in the lively atmosphere with satisfaction, thinking that he has finally made it. He walks through the streets and enters a grand building that serves as a registration hall for adventurers. The hall is filled with other armed individuals. A woman in an elegant red dress who works as a receptionist greets him warmly and asks how she can assist him. Xu Jingming states his purpose, explaining he wants to register as an adventurer. He holds up his identification, knowing that to enter the wilderness, one must first register for a nationally recognized adventurer identity. The receptionist takes Xu Jingming's university ID and is impressed that he is a student from Modu Superpower University. She remarks that it is rare to see a first-tier user like him venturing into the wilderness so soon. She informs him it will take a little while to process his registration and suggests he rest in the hall while he waits. As Xu Jingming waits, he walks through the hall, observing the other adventurers. Suddenly, a commotion erupts near the entrance. A group of men exclaim in excitement as a newcomer arrives. They recognize her as the goddess Jiang Chuxuan, commenting on her beauty and powerful aura, noting that such a presence is expected from a student of Modu University. The center of attention is a stylish woman with long white hair and sunglasses, who walks through the hall with confidence, followed by two large bodyguards and a cameraman. She is Jiang Chuxuan, a second-year student from Modu Superpower University. The onlookers gossip, speculating she must be there to film new material for her online videos. They praise her content and marvel at her popularity, with one man stating she has at least 10 million fans. Another corrects him, claiming she has over 15 million followers and passionately declares he would trade 10 years of his life to be her boyfriend. From a distance, Xu Jingming observes the scene. He recognizes she is a fellow student, and internally notes her beauty is on par with Song Chukyu's. His observation is interrupted when the receptionist calls him over. She hands him his new adventurer card and a satellite smartwatch, explaining the watch has a map of the wilderness detailing beast activity and danger levels. Xu Jingming thanks her. As he turns to leave, a shady-looking man stops him. The man guesses this is Xu Jingming's first trip into the wilderness and warns him it is dangerous to go unprepared, offering to sell him some essential elixirs. Intrigued, Xu Jingming asks about the price. The man eagerly opens his coat to reveal hidden pills, offering first-grade healing elixirs for 20,000 and antidote elixirs for 15,000. He also mentions he has more potent second-grade versions, though they are more expensive. Xu Jingming casually remarks that the prices don't seem that high. The merchant laughs, pleased, and boasts that he is well known for selling cheap and effective elixirs. However, Xu Jingming's expression turns sharp. He internally notes, something is wrong. He knows a standard first-grade elixir should cost at least 30 or 40,000. The man's low prices can only mean one thing. He is a scammer targeting inexperienced newcomers. Instead of being intimidated, Xu Jingming calmly asks how many elixirs the man wants, then immediately calls out his scam, asking how many other newcomers he has cheated. The merchant, realizing he's caught, drops his friendly act. He aggressively gets in Xu Jingming's face, asking if he was toying with him from the start. Xu Jingming remains unfazed, simply asking what he thinks. The merchant's face twists into a menacing grin. He declares that Xu Jingming is the first person to dare provoke him within the supply base. However, before things can escalate, a young woman with short, dark hair intervenes, shouting at the merchant. She calls him by his name, Zhao Chunlin, and accuses him of scamming new adventurers again. The woman walks towards them. Annoyed, Zhao Chunlin mutters that Xu Jingming is lucky this time. Before leaving, he leans in and delivers a sinister threat, warning Xu Jingming not to leave the supply base for the next few days, or he will regret it. As Zhao Chunlin stalks away, the other adventurers gossip. They comment that the newcomer is in trouble for being targeted by Zhao Chunlin and that he provoked the wrong person. One adventurer notes that Zhao Chunlin is rumored to be a mid-level second-tier user, making him too powerful for a high-level first-tier user like Xu Jingming. The woman who intervened approaches Xu Jingming and warns him that Zhao Chunlin is vengeful, advising him to stay inside the base. Xu Jingming thanks her but asks why a known scammer isn't dealt with by the authorities. She explains Zhao Chunlin has powerful connections, which is why no one interferes. She advises Xu Jingming to buy his supplies from official channels and gives him one last warning not to leave. As she walks away, Xu Jingming watches her go, thinking she is a kind-hearted person. Putting the encounter out of his mind, Xu Jingming refocuses. He decides to first purchase all the supplies he will need for the month, making a mental list of healing elixirs, antidote elixirs, and other necessities. Having finished his business, Xu Jingming approaches an official counter to purchase his supplies. After stowing the items in his backpack, he leaves the adventurer's hall, now fully equipped and ready for the wilderness. However, as soon as he steps outside, his path is blocked by Zhao Chunlin and his cronies. The merchant looks furious, mockingly commenting on how Xu Jingming is foolish and defiant for daring to leave after being warned not to. He angrily asks if this is a sign of disrespect. Unfazed, Xu Jingming calmly asks what he wants. Enraged by his calm demeanor, Zhao Chunlin's face twists into a sneer. He declares that since Xu Jingming has disrespected him, he will break both of his legs and make sure he spends the rest of his life in a wheelchair, claiming it is the only way to appease his anger. Nearby, the kind adventurer woman who had warned him earlier sees the confrontation. She expresses frustration that he didn't listen to her and declares she must go help. However, her companion holds her back, suggesting it might be better to let him learn a lesson. Back in the confrontation, Zhao Chunlin prepares to make good on his threat. Dark energy swirls around his arm as he activates his ability. He boasts about his C-rank metallic skin superpower, claiming that when combined with his D-rank combat suit, Xu Jingming won't even be able to scratch him. He then gives his ultimatum. Unless Xu Jingming pays him 1 million and kneels in apology, he will be crippled. Xu Jingming's reaction is instant. A faint crackle of purple lightning comes from his body as he utters a single contemptuous word, shameless. The sudden surge of his energy startles Zhao Chunlin, his eyes widening in shock. Before Zhao Chunlin or his cronies can react, Xu Jingming disappears in a flash of purple lightning, reappearing behind the merchant and striking him down with a single devastating blow. The force of Xu Jingming's single, lightning-fast attack sends Zhao Chunlin flying backward, his body battered and bloody. Zhao Chunlin is slammed with such force that he crashes through a nearby stone wall, shattering it. The onlookers, especially the kind adventurer woman and her companions, are left utterly speechless by the sudden and brutal display of power. Xu Jingming stands calmly in the now devastated courtyard, unfazed by the chaos he caused as the crowd parts around him. The onlookers are in shock, murmuring about the instant and terrifying defeat of Zhao Chunlin. One person notes they didn't even see how Xu Jingming attacked, while another remarks they were initially worried for the newcomer, never expecting him to be so strong. The consensus is clear. Zhao Chunlin picked a fight with the wrong person. The kind adventurer woman and her friend are also trying to process what they just saw. The woman admits she couldn't follow his movements either. Her blonde companion grimly assesses the damage, guessing that Zhao Chunlin's legs and pelvis must have been completely shattered. She concludes that even if he survives, he will be a cripple. The kind woman remarks that Xu Jingming is not only incredibly strong, but also ruthless, truly a student from the prestigious Modu Superpower University. When her companion asks how she knows, she explains she recognized his combat suit as exclusive gear from the university. Impressed by his power, the kind woman, whose friend calls her Xiao Qian, suggests they should try to recruit him into their team, noting they are short one attacker. Her teammate immediately protests, reminding her that when they formed their all-female team, they agreed to only accept female members. The other teammates playfully tease Xiaoqian, suggesting she's only interested because he's handsome, though they admit they wouldn't be opposed to him joining. The teasing leaves Xiaoqian flustered. Ignoring the commotion, Xu Jingming proceeds to the wilderness entry gate. He scans his adventurer card, and a notification confirms his identity and grants him permission to enter. He steps through the massive gate and into the vast expanse of the Yuanshui wilderness area, a dense, untamed forest. Shortly after entering, he pauses as the distant, powerful roar of a beast echoes through the trees. He recognizes the sound as a territorial declaration from powerful beasts, likely at least Tier 4. However, he remains calm, noting to himself that these creatures are not his targets for the day. He begins to plan his hunt, recalling that the Yuanshui wilderness is divided into a ruined city and a mountain forest. He decides the beasts in the city are generally weaker, making them the perfect starting point to harvest the ability points he needs. He pulls up a holographic map on his smartwatch and identifies a nearby location called Ping'an County. The data indicates the area is mostly inhabited by Tier 2 beasts, with very few Tier 1 and no higher-tiered creatures. With its large area and an estimated 500 to 600 beasts, he concludes it is the ideal hunting ground. With a determined cry, Xu Jingming declares his arrival in Ping'an County and breaks into a full sprint, his body covered in a faint blue aura as he moves with incredible speed through the forest. He soon enters the desolate, ruined streets of the county, where his presence immediately attracts a ferocious, wolf-like beast that lunges at him from the shadows. Xu Jingming calmly identifies his attacker as a Tier 2 Shadow Cat, seeing it as a timely delivery of ability points. However, as he prepares to fight, he suddenly clutches his chest in pain. He feels the violent, negative emotions from the Thunder Tyrannosaurus blood stirring within him, filling him with an overwhelming urge to kill. He realizes the more he tries to suppress this impulse, the stronger it becomes. A savage, manic grin spreads across his face as he decides he has had enough of holding back. Unleashing a torrent of purple lightning, he embraces the bloodlust, his sudden transformation and terrifying aura leaving the Shadow Cat frozen in fear. The scene then shifts to 1 month later. A team of 4 adventurers patrols the empty streets of the same county. One of them asks their bald, red-bearded captain why the area is so deserted, complaining they have been searching for a full day without finding a single beast. The captain angrily retorts that he has no idea, finding the situation deeply unsettling. He reasons there should be hundreds of beasts in a city of this size, and even a mass migration wouldn't leave the area so completely barren. Just then, their luck seems to change as a large, tiger-like arm-blade tiger appears before them, startling the group. Relieved to have finally found a target, the captain rallies his men, declaring they should kill it together. However, before they can move, a massive spear of pure purple lightning descends from the sky. The energy spear slams directly into the beast, instantly obliterating it in a massive explosion of purple energy and debris. The adventurers are left stunned by the sudden, overwhelming attack. One of them nervously wonders if they just saw a new type of laser weapon. The more experienced captain dismisses the idea, explaining a laser would be much faster. He correctly deduces that the devastating attack was an incredibly powerful lightning element combat technique. The captain of the adventurer team quickly understands the situation. He concludes that the devastating attack was a clear warning and that a powerful individual has claimed the entire county as their territory. He urges his team to leave immediately. His men scramble to follow, with one commenting on how terrifying the lightning spear was, while another finally understands why they couldn't find any beasts. They had all been wiped out by this powerful lightning user. The captain yells at them to hurry, fearing the consequences if they linger and anger the mysterious powerhouse. The scene shifts to reveal the powerhouse, Xu Jingming, perched calmly on a high-rise structure. A system notification pops up, confirming his kill of a Tier 2 arm-blade tiger and awarding him 19 ability points. He reflects on his progress, pleased that after reaching a high level of proficiency, his Thunder Spear technique now has a range of over 1,000 meters. He then pulls up his status panel to review his accomplishments over the past month. By accumulating over 8,000 ability points, he has advanced from a high-level first tier to a high-level second tier user, and his Thunder Indestructible body has broken through to the third level. He also proudly notes that he has managed to raise several of his A-rank combat techniques to the intermediate level, a feat he believes no one else could achieve in such a short time. Having cleared out the entire county, Xu Jingming decides it is time to pack up. He plans to return to the supply base for the night before venturing deeper into the wilderness the next day. Back at the Yuanshui supply base, a group of adventurers watch in disbelief as Xu Jingming returns, weighed down by an impossibly large and overflowing backpack. They joke about the situation, wondering if his bag has grown legs, and speculating that he must have foolishly hauled back the entire carcass of a beast. Unseen by them, Xu Jingming thinks to himself that it was a good thing he bought the reinforced version of the backpack. Otherwise, it never would have held the more than 400 kilograms of beast materials he had collected. He proceeds to the adventurer's hall and approaches the receptionist's counter to sell his haul. The woman politely asks what materials he wishes to sell and directs him to a large scale. Xu Jingming opens his massive pack, revealing a mountain of valuable, high-quality beast parts. He informs the stunned receptionist that he has over 400 kilograms of Tier 2 beast materials and asks her to see how much they are worth. Still in awe, the receptionist examines the parts, noting they are all the most valuable and pristine components, such as tiger tendons, claws, and rhino horns. Completely overwhelmed, she apologetically asks Xu Jingming to wait, explaining the quantity of materials is too large for her to handle alone and that she needs to call for help. Shortly after, a well-dressed man, with 2 female attendants in red dresses, approaches. He introduces himself as Zhao Yi, the manager in charge of acquisitions. After Xu Jingming introduces himself, Manager Zhao Yi shakes his hand, expressing his admiration that someone so young could hunt so many beasts. He offers to have his staff take care of the inventory and invites Xu Jingming to sit with him while they wait. While Xu Jingming sits with manager Zhao Yi, the adventurer's hall staff, aided by floating scanner drones, meticulously appraise the massive pile of beast materials. The manager is clearly impressed by his young client's skill and decides to foster a good relationship. He presents Xu Jingming with a platinum membership card for the supply base, which grants a discount on all purchases, and asks him to accept the small token. Xu Jingming politely accepts, thanking the manager. Soon after, a female employee delivers the final inventory report. She states they have counted a total of 89 high-tier, 107 mid-tier, and 221 low-tier Tier 2 beast materials. The staggering numbers leave the manager inwardly stunned, wondering if Xu Jingming had single-handedly wiped out an entire beast lair. Turning back to his client, the manager presents the final valuation, totaling just over 24.76 million. He offers to round the payment up to 25 million, an offer Xu Jingming graciously accepts. A moment later, Xu Jingming receives a notification on his phone confirming the deposit, bringing his new bank balance to over 29 million. He smiles, realizing he has become incredibly rich overnight. As he prepares to leave, manager Zhao Yi gives him his business card, inviting him for tea sometime. Xu Jingming politely agrees and leaves. The manager watches him go, thinking the young man has a future with limitless potential. Just as Xu Jingming departs, the manager's phone begins to ring. He answers, and the caller is revealed to be Zhao Chunlin. From a hospital bed, heavily bandaged and in a wheelchair, the enraged merchant yells into the phone that he saw the person who attacked him return to the base and furiously demands that the manager help him get revenge. The manager, now revealed to be Zhao Chunlin's powerful contact, calmly asks if he is referring to the high-level first-tier user and inquires how he wants to proceed. Zhao Chunlin furiously demands that he dispatch the Tiger Shark Squad to make Xu Jingming's life a living hell. The manager agrees to lend him the elite squad, but makes one condition clear. After this, their association is over. Zhao Chunlin accepts the terms, vowing to leave the city as soon as his revenge is complete. After ending the call, manager Zhao Yi feels a sudden sense of unease. He tries to dismiss it as paranoia, reassuring himself that the Tiger Shark Squad is an elite team of Tier 2 users and should have no trouble dealing with a single first-tier opponent. Meanwhile, as Xu Jingming walks through the streets of the supply base, he suddenly lets out a loud sneeze. He rubs his nose, wondering what that was about and if someone was just talking bad about him somewhere. Manager Zhao Yi is on the phone with his superior, enthusiastically reporting about a new ability user named Xu Jingming, whose haul of beast materials alone was more than a dozen other teams combined. The superior, base chief manager Wang Chuang, hears the name and says he will check the records. As he pulls up Xu Jingming's file, his eyes widen in surprise. Manager Wang Chuang immediately calls back, his tone urgent. He tells manager Zhao Yi that Xu Jingming is extremely important and to notify him the moment he returns. Zhao Yi agrees, wondering how a young man could cause such a strong reaction from his boss. He concludes Xu Jingming must have a powerful background and is relieved he treated him with respect. Meanwhile, manager Wang Chuang looks at Xu Jingming's profile. He recognizes him as another disciple of the famed Yang Zhentian and notes his talent seems to surpass even Liu Ming, another of the dean's students. He concludes Xu Jingming is a prodigy who must not be offended. Elsewhere, Xu Jingming walks through the commercial streets of the supply base. He sees a shop selling spatial storage rings and is dismayed that even basic models, no larger than a suitcase, cost over 10 million. Despite the high price, he finds the convenience of a space ring appealing and wonders how much a larger one for his spear would cost. His thoughts are interrupted by his phone ringing. He answers and hears the cheerful voice of his roommate, Liu Wentao, who asks when he'll return to the university. Xu Jingming says he will be back in about half a month and asks if something is wrong. He doesn't know he is being watched. From a hidden alley, a vengeful Zhao Chunlin sits in a wheelchair, surrounded by mercenaries, the Tiger Shark Squad. The squad leader, a man with a blonde buzz cut and an arm in a sling, points out their target. He orders them to break Xu Jingming's hands and feet, then bring him to Zhao Chunlin. A female squad member coolly acknowledges the command. As Xu Jingming continues his phone call, Liu Wentao starts telling him about an arrogant new freshman at the university. Suddenly, Xu Jingming pauses, sensing hostile gazes. Liu Wentao asks what's wrong, but Xu Jingming, aware of the ambush, looks over his shoulder and calmly tells his roommate it's nothing, and to continue. As Xu Jingming walks into the deserted alley, the Tiger Shark Squad is waiting. The squad leader signals that the target is in position and orders a member named He Ji to analyze his strength. Another member remarks their captain is being too cautious about a single upper first-rank user. As He-ji uses her psychic ability to scan their target, her expression turns to shock, and she exclaims that what she is seeing can't be possible. The captain asks what is wrong, sensing something is amiss. He-ji shares her psychic perception with the team, letting them see what she sees. Their view of the alley shows their auras as small flickers of energy, but Xu Jingming's is a colossal vortex of immense purple power that dwarfs them. The team is horrified. realizing his power is far stronger than an upper second-rank user and he could easily destroy them. The leader's face twists in fury as he realizes their intelligence was wrong and Zhao Chunlin sent them on a suicide mission. He immediately aborts the operation, ordering a retreat and vowing to settle the score. From the alley, Xu Jingming watches the squad members suddenly leap away and vanish, leaving him confused by their sudden withdrawal. He quickly deduces the only person in the base with a grudge against him is Zhao Chunlin and assumes this was a failed revenge attempt. He dismisses it, thinking people like that never change and he will teach him a lesson next time. The enraged Tiger Shark squad returns to Zhao Chunlin. The squad leader storms up to the merchant and slaps him powerfully across the face. The force sends Zhao Chunlin flying from his wheelchair. Stunned and in pain, he demands to know why he was attacked. The leader looks down with contempt, yelling that Zhao Chunlin's faulty intel was a death trap. He reveals the shocking truth. Their target wasn't an upper first-rank user, but a powerful upper second rank. The news leaves Zhao Chunlin speechless, unable to understand how Xu Jingming grew so powerful in just over a month. The squad leader, his face cold with disgust, declares he doesn't care. He terminates their mission, leaving Zhao Chunlin broken on the ground as his team departs. The Tiger Shark squad leader reports back to manager Zhao Yi, who is surprised to see them return so soon. The squad leader confirms the mission was terminated. He explains that Zhao Chunlin's intelligence was wrong. The target was an upper second-rank user. He corrects himself, saying it's worse. Their scanner showed his combat strength is at least third rank, which is why they retreated. Manager Zhao Yi is enraged, wondering how Zhao Chunlin could make such a huge mistake. A sense of dread dawns on him, and he asks for the target's name. The leader says Zhao Chunlin only gave a description, a muscular man, about 1.9 meters tall, who carries a long spear. The description clicks, and manager Zhao Yi's face turns pale with horror as he realizes who the target was. The scene cuts to manager Wang Chuang's office, who slams his hands on his desk, sending books flying. He yells at Zhao Yi, demanding to know who gave him the audacity to ambush Xu Jingming. A terrified Zhao Yi nervously points out he's just an upper second-rank kid and questions if such a strong reaction is needed. Manager Wang Chuang calls him a fool and has a drone project Xu Jingming's records. As he reads, the horrifying reality hits him. The file confirms Xu Jingming is an 18-year-old upper second-rank user, the top scholar of Jiangnan province, and a freshman at Modu Superpower University. The most damning detail is his mentor, the legendary Yang Zhentian. Manager Wang Chuang grimly asks if he now understands, explaining a master like Yang Zhentian could level the base, and the state would do nothing. Overcome with fear, spikes erupting from his back, manager Zhao Yi bows and promises to handle the situation. On manager Wang's orders, 2 guards drag in the battered Zhao Chunlin. The terrified merchant is thrown to the floor, where he begs for his life. Manager Zhao Yi, his face cold, declares a simple beating isn't enough. The ringleader must be executed. He tells Zhao Chunlin he has only himself to blame for picking a fight with someone he couldn't afford to offend. Without another word, he snaps the merchant's neck, executing him on the spot. In manager Wang Chuang's office, manager Zhao Yi looks on nervously after executing the merchant. However, the base chief manager is not satisfied. He coldly asks if Zhao Yi believes that is enough to appease someone like Xu Jingming. With a menacing look, he tells Zhao Yi that while he has overlooked his shady dealings over the years, this mistake is too great. He declares everyone involved, including the Tiger Shark squad, must be severely punished to ensure no rumors spread. A horrified Zhao Yi can only watch. The scene shifts to the Adventurers Hall entrance, where the base's top management has gathered in a formal line. A crowd, including Xiao Qian and her team, observes the gathering. They recognize manager Wang Chuang at the front and note all department heads are present. They guess such an impressive lineup must be for someone very important. Just then, Xiao Qian's teammate spots a familiar face, pointing out the young man from Modu Superpower University. Xu Jingming, returning from his errands, looks on, confused why the entire management team is at the entrance. The man at the front steps forward. He warmly welcomes student Xu and introduces himself as the base chief manager, Wang Lun. Seeing the base's highest authority personally greeting him leaves Xiao Qian and her friends shocked as they realize there is much more to this young man's identity. Manager Wang Lun offers a formal apology. He informs Xu Jingming that for the offense, Zhao Chunlin has been punished. Furthermore, all accomplices have been rounded up and will spend their lives in prison. To make amends, the manager explains, the base has prepared reparations. Xu Jingming is impressed, thinking that a chief manager certainly handles matters cleanly and decisively. A female attendant brings forward a box, presenting Xu Jingming with the base's highest-level black gold membership card. Manager Wang Lun explains this card grants him free lodging and a minimum 20% discount on all purchases. Another attendant then presents a second gift, a small box containing a 1 cubic meter space ring. The incredible value of this gift leaves Xu Jingming completely stunned as he realizes what he is being offered. Holding the space ring, Xu Jingming notes its incredible value, saying it would cost at least 50 million on the market. He accepts the gift, acknowledging manager Wang Chuang's sincerity. Manager Chuang praises Xu Jingming, commenting that his boldness is what he would expect from a student of Yang Zhentian. He mentions that Xu Jingming's senior disciple, Liu Ming, also trained at the base. Before Xu Jingming leaves, manager Wang Chuang assures him that if he runs into trouble in the city, he should contact him, as his influence is significant. Xu Jingming understands this special treatment is entirely due to his master's powerful backing. Later, in the luxurious room from his new black gold membership, Xu Jingming finally relaxes. After a month of hard training, he is grateful for the rest. He decides to bind the space ring to himself, a process that requires leaving a spiritual imprint on it. With his strong spiritual power far surpassing an average user of his level, he completes the task easily. Testing the ring, he finds he can retrieve items with a simple thought and store them with a touch. Although it can't hold living things, he finds it very convenient. His rest is interrupted by a call from his master, Yang Zhentian. Xu Jingming informs him he just returned from the wilderness and has something important to report. Upon learning someone sent mercenaries to attack his disciple, Yang Zhentian becomes enraged. He shouts over the phone that a space ring is too light a compensation for an assassination attempt and threatens to destroy the base if anything had happened to Xu Jingming. Once calmer, he asks why the elite squad retreated. Xu Jingming speculates they realized his strength was much greater than they expected, seeing him as an upper-tier second-rank user, forcing them to fall back. The news leaves Yang Zhentian speechless. He shouts into the phone in disbelief that Xu Jingming has already reached that level in just 1 month. His master's shock quickly turns into a proud laugh. He praises Xu Jingming, stating his cultivation speed is even faster than his was, and eagerly asks when he plans to return so they can celebrate. Xu Jingming tells him he will be back just before the semester begins, as he plans to use the remaining time to explore more dangerous areas. His master warns him to be careful, and Xu Jingming assures him he will. After the call, Yang Zhentian is still beaming with joy. His butler, Uncle Fu, remarks it has been a long time since he's seen him so happy. The dean can't contain his admiration for Xu Jingming's astonishing speed of improvement. He reflects that life and death crises, which are catalysts for others, seem to work like a powerful cheat device for his talented disciple, speeding up his growth at an incredible rate. Following his plan, Xu Jingming ventures into the forest mountain range, a more advanced part of the wilderness. As he walks, the air is filled with the roars of fierce beasts. He notes this area seems much richer in resources than the ruined city he had cleared. His keen senses pick up on an attack just as his boot snaps a twig, alerting his foe to his position. Suddenly, invisible energy slashes tear through the air, aimed at him. Reacting with incredible speed, Xu Jingming dodges the assault, the blasts narrowly missing him and slicing through the trees. The attacker reveals itself, a large, ferocious Gale Dreadwolf. Xu Jingming calmly analyzes it, guessing that most third-rank beasts have special abilities. He identifies the wolf as a wind element creature, likely at a mid-tier third-rank level, and wonders how many ability points its defeat will give him. As Xu Jingming prepares to fight the beast, he senses another group approaching. It is the popular streamer Zhang Chuxuan, with her bodyguards and a cameraman. One of her men points out the Gale Dreadwolf, suggesting it would be perfect for Miss Zhang to defeat on camera. The team leader orders his subordinate to block the wolf's escape, intending to claim the beast for themselves. Xu Jingming observes this, thinking they are trying to steal his kill, which is against the wilderness rule where the first person to find a resource has claim to it. However, Zhang Chuxuan expresses her disapproval. She states that she dislikes taking another's prey just for filming content. The leader tries to frame it as a heroic rescue for their stream. Zhang Chuxuan is not convinced, saying she doesn't need fake praise and pointing out that Xu Jingming appears calm and capable, not needing help. Following her wishes, the team leader complains quietly but agrees to find another beast. He orders his team to leave. Xu Jingming watches them go, thinking Jiang Chushuan's character is surprisingly decent for a famous online personality. However, he also notes the team leader seemed to have little authority. He dismisses the thought and refocuses on his hunt. The Gale Dreadwolf, annoyed that Xu Jingming stood his ground, lunges in a furious attack. Unfazed, Xu Jingming easily evades the beast's charge. The attack throws Xu Jingming slightly off balance, enraged that its prey is not taking it seriously. However, Xu Jingming quickly recovers and retaliates. Channeling his lightning power, he brings his spear down with immense force, plunging the electrified tip into the beast's skull. The beast collapses. A system notification confirms the kill, awarding him 34 ability points. Xu Jingming reflects on the reward, noting with satisfaction that getting over 30 points from a single third-rank beast is quite good. With a smirk, he looks forward to the last 10 days of his expedition, eager to hunt as many beasts as possible. 7 days later, Xu Jingming's hunt continues. He finds a troop of large, ape-like beasts, who are startled by a brilliant flash of light from above. He unleashes a powerful ranged technique, a massive spear of pure energy, which descends from the sky and slams into the ground, creating a powerful explosion. The blast leaves a crater with one ape-like creature lying heavily wounded within it. Xu Jingming is surprised his Thunder Spear attack didn't instantly kill the leader. He acknowledges that, as expected of a third-rank beast leader, it is durable. With a menacing look, purple lightning crackling around him, he decides not to waste time on the lesser beasts. He resolves to finish them all off quickly. He charges into the remaining group, his body covered in lightning. He moves like a blur, weaving through their attacks and striking them down with his spear. Standing over the defeated ape-like beasts, Xu Jingming's hunt in this area is a success. He checks his system panel, a satisfied smile on his face as he sees he has over 3,000 ability points. He thinks this amount should be enough to finally learn the powerful S-rank combat techniques he has been eagerly anticipating. Just as he is about to move on, his smartwatch beeps, projecting a holographic distress signal. Elsewhere, Jiang Chushuan is desperately fleeing for her life, leaping through the trees at incredible speed. She is being pursued by a massive, armored, dragon-like creature. Through her panicked thoughts, she reveals her team was scattered by a powerful fourth-rank beast, and in the chaos, she ran into another foe, a low-tier, third-rank ground-digging dragon. She knows any beast associated with dragons is very fierce. As a mid-tier second-rank user, she understands she has no chance of winning, even with a power-boosting pill. Her only hope is that another superpowered person will see her distress signal and come to her aid. Her situation becomes worse when she breaks out of the dense forest into an open clearing. She realizes, with a sense of doom, that without cover, the beast will surely catch her. As she feared, the creature closes in, cornering her completely. Just as the beast is about to strike, a massive spear of pure purple lightning descends from the sky, slamming in front of the creature and stopping its attack. Xu Jingming appears in a flash of lightning, standing protectively between her and the stunned beast. Jiang Chushuan looks on in utter shock, immediately recognizing her savior. Seeing him stand his ground, Jiang Chushuan frantically tells him to run, explaining that the creature is a low-tier, third-rank, ground-digging dragon he can't defeat. However, Xu Jingming ignores her warning, planting his spear in the ground as he calmly faces the beast, leaving her stunned. Frustrated that he won't listen, she feels responsible. She thinks it would be one thing if she died alone, but she can't bear the thought of getting an innocent person killed. Making a selfless choice, she sprints past him, shouting for him to escape while she tries to hold off the creature. The ground-digging dragon roars and charges at them both. Jiang Chushuan prepares to fight. Before she can act, Xu Jingming unleashes his power behind her. He summons a massive spear of crackling lightning and hurls it over her head at the charging beast, leaving her to watch in stunned silence. The energy spear descends at incredible speed, piercing directly through the beast's armored head in a massive explosion of purple lightning and gore. The creature collapses, its head completely destroyed. Jiang Chushuan falls to her knees in complete disbelief, stammering about how the fearsome beast was killed in a single instant attack. She looks up at Xu Jingming, thinking about his terrifying power. She realizes the sonic boom she heard earlier was from him, and wonders how he could be so strong when he's supposed to be only an upper-tier second-rank user. A notification appears for Xu Jingming, confirming the kill and awarding him 36 ability points. He smirks, thinking that, as expected of a beast with dragon in its name, it provides more points than a normal beast of the same rank. After the battle, Xu Jingming approaches Jiang Chushuan, who is still on the ground, and asks if she is all right. She says she is fine, just weak in the knees, and thanks him for saving her. He modestly replies that anyone would have done the same and helps her up. Standing, Jiang Chuxuan says she owes him a great debt for saving her life, and he can ask for anything in the future. Xu Jingming politely declines but says an autographed photo for his roommate would be the best reward. The request surprises her, but she agrees, saying she doesn't have one with her but can give it to him at the supply base. Her attention is then drawn to his weapon. She recognizes it as the famous Dark Cloud Gale Spear and asks if he's a student at Modu University. He confirms it was a gift from his master. Jiang Chuxuan explains the weapon is famous because it's so heavy only powerful users can wield it. She introduces herself as a second-year student from the Elemental Academy. Hearing this, Xu Jingming greets her as a senior. She internally notes she's never heard his name at school and concludes he must be a very low-key upperclassman. He realizes she thinks he is a senior because most students don't reach his power level until their third year, and he decides not to correct her. Still in awe, Jiang Chuxuan marvels that he could instantly kill a strong, upper-tier third-rank creature. As he prepares to leave, she stops him. With a blush, she shyly asks if she can travel with him for a while, explaining she was separated from her bodyguards and can't survive alone in the wilderness. Xu Jingming agrees to escort her to the ruined city, from where she can get back safely. She happily thanks him. As they walk, she suggests they check the beast's cave for valuable items, which is why it attacked her. Xu Jingming agrees it's worth a look. On the way, she asks which academy he belongs to. When he says he is from the Weaponry Academy, she comments that she knows their dean, Yang Zhentian, has a very fierce nickname. Xu Jingming calmly informs her the dean is his master. The revelation leaves Jiang Chuxuan flustered and embarrassed, and she apologizes profusely for speaking badly of his teacher. Xu Jingming is taken aback, thinking that for a cold online ice goddess, she is quite a chatterbox in person. Jiang Chuxuan leads him to a dark, rocky cave, the ground-digging dragon's lair. Inside, he cautiously tells her to stay behind him, as he is unsure of what dangers lie ahead. She agrees, following closely as he leads with his spear crackling with protective lightning. Their caution soon turns to amazement. Deeper inside, they discover a hidden oasis. A small spring of clear turquoise water is surrounded by a garden of rare and fragrant flowers. Xu Jingming is stunned, identifying several high-grade medicinal herbs. His shock grows as he realizes the spring is an S-grade Earth Spirit Spring, a legendary healing treasure. He turns to Jiang Chuxuan in disbelief, asking if she is certain. She confirms it, explaining the spring nourishes the surrounding plants, turning them into rare and powerful herbs. Xu Jingming is impressed by her deep knowledge. She proudly reveals she is a certified second-grade pharmacist, a qualification he knows is very difficult to achieve. After assessing their find, Jiang Chuxuan estimates there is enough spring water for at least 5 portions of S-grade healing liquid. As thanks for saving her life, she selflessly offers the entire treasure to him. However, Xu Jingming proposes a fairer deal. He suggests they split the spring water, with him taking 4 parts to her 1, and divide the herbs equally. Delighted by his generous offer, she happily accepts. As Xu Jingming and Jiang Chuxuan are dividing their findings, her team of bodyguards arrives at the cave entrance. One man is skeptical, questioning what could be valuable in an unguarded cave. The team leader corrects him, pointing out traces show it's the lair of a third-rank ground-digging dragon, and dragon nests often contain rare treasures. As they enter, they are surprised to find Jiang Chuxuan and Xu Jingming inside. She is startled by their sudden appearance, internally worrying that if this elite team of third-rank users discovers the S-grade spring, there will be trouble. The leader greets her, saying they've been searching for her. He then curiously notes Xu Jingming's presence. Thinking quickly, Jiang Chuxuan explains Xu Jingming is a senior from her school she just met. She gestures to the treasure, suggesting that since the herbs are high quality, they should all share. The leader smirks and accepts, but a subordinate whispers to him that the spring seems to be the legendary S-grade Earth Spirit Spring, a priceless treasure. The revelation instantly changes the atmosphere. The bodyguards' eyes glow red with greed as they realize the immense value. Both Xu Jingming and Jiang Chuxuan sense the immediate shift in their demeanor. The leader's friendly facade drops, replaced by a menacing grin as he remarks that she doesn't seem very honest. Realizing the danger, Jiang Chuxuan decides to surrender the treasure. She says the team can have everything and tries to pull Xu Jingming away. When he does not move, she urgently whispers that the bodyguards are all peak third-rank users and they stand no chance. However, Xu Jingming calmly replies that he doesn't consider himself weaker than them. He adds that even if they gave up the treasure, the team wouldn't let them go alive, a chilling thought she realizes is true. The team leader laughs, confirming Xu Jingming's words. He admits that while the boy's tone is arrogant, his guess is correct. He explains their ruthless logic. Jiang Chuxuan is famous. If they let her go, she could expose them online and ruin their careers. Therefore, he concludes, it is safer to kill them both and keep the secret buried in the cave forever. Refusing to be a liability, Jiang Chuxuan makes a difficult choice. She pulls out and swallows a red, power-enhancing, blood-burst pill, determined to fight alongside her rescuer. The pill immediately takes effect, causing her A-rank ice superpower to surge violently. She unleashes her power, sending a wave of frost across the ground that begins to freeze the feet of the bodyguards. The team leader, unfazed, gives his orders. He instructs one man, Zhou Chong, to deal with Xu Jingming first, whom he mockingly calls Jiang Chuxuan's lover. The rest of the team is ordered to secure the cave entrance. With the plan set, the leader turns his attention to Jiang Chuxuan. His body transforms, his C-rank ability turning him into a massive, ferocious, saber-toothed tiger. He menacingly tells her that her life ends today. His men make cruel and lewd remarks, suggesting they should record everything before killing her, revealing their monstrous nature. Jiang Chuxuan is filled with despair, horrified to be facing beasts in human skin. She cannot accept dying in such a place, her greatest regret being that she dragged Xu Jingming into her fatal situation. She turns to warn him, only to be shocked by what she sees. In a flash, the battle turns. The tiger-transformed leader's eyes widen as he senses movement. Before anyone can react, Xu Jingming appears behind Zhou Chong, his spear already through the man's chest. The bodyguard collapses, defeated in an instant. Xu Jingming looks down on his fallen foe coldly, remarking that even a third-tier fighter isn't much of a threat. The leader is stunned by Xu Jingming's incredible speed, unable to understand how his mid-tier third-rank subordinate was taken down so easily. He realizes with a grim expression that he has misjudged the situation. Xu Jingming is the true threat. Roaring with fury, he unleashes his own attack, swinging his massive axe in a devastating tiger roar slash. However, Xu Jingming effortlessly dodges the powerful blow, his body a blur of purple lightning. As he dodges, he analyzes his opponent's strength. He concludes that the peak third-tier captain's raw power is far stronger than his, and he realizes he can no longer afford to hold back. The tiger-transformed leader and his men are left confused by Xu Jingming's display of power. Realizing he is facing a much stronger opponent than he thought, Xu Jingming decides he can no longer hold back. He unleashes a hidden power, activating his Thunder Extreme mode. A massive, violent surge of raw purple lightning erupts from him, tearing his shirt and revealing a newly muscular physique. Jiang Chuxuan can only watch in stunned silence, her face a mix of awe and concern. The sheer force of this transformation shocks the tiger leader, who stares at the dark, swirling energy and wonders what kind of monster Xu Jingming is. Xu Jingming's appearance changes dramatically. His eyes now glow a piercing blue with slitted pupils, and two large demonic horns sprout from his head, completing his terrifying new form. He revels in the incredible surge of power, finding the feeling amazing. After a moment of shock, the leader dismisses the change, believing it to be just a special mode meant to be intimidating. Regaining his confidence, he prepares to attack again. With a ferocious grin, Xu Jingming rushes forward. The two warriors clash, the leader using a defensive skill called Lying Tiger Stone, certain his armor can withstand any attack from a lower-rank user. However, he is proven fatally wrong as Xu Jingming's own Lightning Gale Slash connects with his weapon. The force of Xu Jingming's attack is overwhelming, shattering the leader's powerful armor. The impact sends the massive Tiger Man flying backward, completely defeated. Xu Jingming stands confidently in his transformed state, declaring his body is now 3 to 4 times stronger, a level of power the leader's tough, beast-like hide could not withstand. The battle is not over. With their leader defeated, another bodyguard lunges at Xu Jingming, unleashing a powerful B-rank skill, the Flame Claw. Even in his transformed state, Xu Jingming's control is absolute. He effortlessly blocks the fiery assault with his own lightning. The bodyguard is left in utter disbelief, unable to comprehend how his advanced technique could be so easily stopped by a supposedly lower-ranked opponent. Xu Jingming stands over the now-defeated bodyguard. Acknowledging his opponent's resilience, he remarks that it's expected from a peak third-tier fighter, but declares he will end the fight with one final blow. Terrified, the man begs for his life, offering Xu Jingming the Earth Spirit Spring and all his savings. Xu Jingming coldly dismisses his plea, stating that it is too late for begging. Jiang Chuxuan watches the scene, her mind reeling in disbelief. She thinks that the team she hired, who cost a fortune and whose captain was rumored to be invincible, was utterly dismantled. She has never heard of any student from her university with such a powerful record, leading her to wonder if his ability might even be S rank. With the others defeated, Xu Jingming turns his attention to the remaining bodyguards. In his transformed state, he feels the violent, bloodthirsty urges from the Thunder Tyrannosaurus blood resurfacing, and he menacingly tells them it is their turn. The two men are frozen in terror, calling him a demon. Xu Jingming scoffs, retorting that compared to murderers like them, he considers himself far more human. Realizing they are outmatched, the remaining men make a desperate final stand. On their leader's command, they all consume their own blood-burst pills, preparing to fight to the death. The battle that follows is swift and brutal. The scene cuts to the aftermath, where Xu Jingming, now back in his normal form but shirtless, stands victorious amidst the defeated bodies of the entire team. The immense power of his Thunder Extreme mode has taken its toll. He leans against a rock wall, breathing heavily and completely exhausted. He reflects that while his transformation is incredibly powerful, the energy drain is severe. Using it for just over 10 minutes, he realizes, is more draining than fighting for several hours. After the intense battle, a concerned Jiang Chuxuan rushes to Xu Jingming's side, asking if he is all right. Despite his exhaustion, he reassures her that he is fine and suggests they collect the valuable spring water and herbs before they rest. Standing by the pristine spring, Jiang Chuxuan expresses her relief that the bloody fight did not contaminate the precious resource. They proceed to carefully fill several glass bottles with the potent water from the Earth Spirit Spring. After they finish, Xu Jingming notes they collected even more than they had estimated. He hands 1.5 bottles to Jiang Chuxuan, insisting she take them as her share, acknowledging that she also fought hard. Overjoyed by his generosity, she thanks him enthusiastically. However, their moment of relief is cut short. Suddenly, Jiang Chuxuan stumbles and cries out in pain. She collapses forward against Xu Jingming, realizing with dread that the severe side effects of the bloodburst pill she took earlier are finally kicking in. The severe side effects of the bloodburst pill finally hit Jiang Chuxuan. She cries out in pain and collapses forward against Xu Jingming, who is surprised but catches her. Lying on the ground, she thinks about how she is powerless, unable to use her energy, and too weak to even get clothes from her space ring. Trembling and blushing, she feels deeply embarrassed and worries about the bad impression she's making. Seeing her condition, Xu Jingming says the pill's side effects are strong and that he will take her somewhere to rest. Without waiting for a response, he lifts her into his arms, which surprises and flusters her. As he carries her, her heart beats rapidly, and she wonders if it's because this is the first time she has been so close to a man. Xu Jingming carries her to a small grassy clearing and gently sets her down. He tells her to rest there while he goes to collect the remaining herbs. Before leaving, he takes off his own black shirt and offers it to her so she can cover herself. Jiang Chuxuan accepts it, thinking about how kind and considerate he is. While she recovers, Xu Jingming turns his attention to the defeated bodyguards. He takes a space ring from one and examines its contents. He thinks the loot from the elite team is disappointing, as he only finds some cash, beast materials, herbs, and a C-grade combat technique. Holding the 2 rings, he hopes he can trade them for a single, larger one, thinking that carrying his long spear is very inconvenient. From the ground, Jiang Chuxuan calls out to him. She explains the Earth Spirit Spring can help with her weakness, and timidly asks if he can give her a sip. Xu Jingming gives her some of the spring water in a vial, and she drinks it eagerly. Instantly, she sighs in relief as her strength begins to return. Jiang Chuxuan tells Xu Jingming she feels much better, though she estimates she will need another 3 to 4 hours to recover completely. She marvels that the pill's side effects can be countered and comments on how miraculous the S-grade Earth Spirit Spring is. Xu Jingming considers her recovery time and realizes it will be night in a few hours. For their safety, he suggests they rest in the cave overnight. The thought of spending a night alone with a man in a dark cave leaves Jiang Chuxuan utterly shocked and flustered. When Xu Jingming asks her opinion, the blushing Jiang Chuxuan shyly agrees, telling him she will follow his lead. The next morning, the sun shines through the forest. Having fully recovered, Jiang Chuxuan stretches her arms, feeling refreshed. She comments on how pleasant the forest air is, joking that she could stay for a month if not for the dangerous beasts. She glances at Xu Jingming and reflects on her worries from the previous night, chiding herself for her wild imagination. She concludes he is not the kind of person she feared, yet feels a slight sense of disappointment. Her thoughts are interrupted when Xu Jingming says it's time to leave and that he will escort her to the edge of the forest. Surprised, she quickly agrees, The two then begin to run through the woods, with Xu Jingming in the lead. Suddenly, he comes to an abrupt stop, putting his arm out to prevent her from going further. A moment later, a massive, flaming creature leaps over their heads. Jiang Chuxuan looks up in terror, identifying it as a powerful 5th-tier blazing tiger. The great beast lands far ahead and continues to flee. Peeking from behind a tree, Xu Jingming wonders if the tiger didn't notice them, but Jiang Chuxuan observes its panicked state and suggests it is running for its life. Her eyes widen as she realizes what must be chasing it. A massive horde of gray, wolf-like beasts with red eyes rushes past. In a hushed tone, Jiang Chuxuan explains they are iron-toothed rats. She clarifies that while they are only 1st-tier beasts, in a swarm they are incredibly dangerous and could overwhelm a 6th-tier powerhouse. Now she understands why the blazing tiger was forced to flee. Faced with the swarm, Jiang Chuxuan panics and urges Xu Jingming to flee. Reacting instantly, Xu Jingming grabs her hand, and they turn and run, with the horde of rats in hot pursuit. As they sprint, Xu Jingming knows the rats have incredible stamina, making a simple escape impossible. With the supply base 90 kilometers away, he realizes they need to move faster. His spear slows him down, and he declares he must abandon it. However, Jiang Chuxuan quickly offers a solution, telling him her space ring is large enough to hold it. She effortlessly stores the heavy spear, freeing him. Now much lighter, Xu Jingming notes that holding hands is still too slow. He suggests it would be more efficient for him to carry her on his back, a proposal that leaves a stunned Jiang Chuxuan speechless. Before she can object, he swiftly lifts her onto his back and continues their escape at an even greater speed. He eventually breaks out of the forest and into a ruined city. However, their relief is short-lived. They see the swarm devouring another beast's corpse. Xu Jingming grimly realizes their worst fear has come true. The rat tide has overrun the entire area. Cornered, he declares they must fight. He activates his Thunder Extreme mode, his body erupting in purple lightning as demonic horns sprout from his head. He tells a frightened Jiang Chuxuan to hold on tight as he charges into the horde. He becomes a blur of destructive energy, cutting through the rats and earning ability points for each kill. Meanwhile, at a military outpost, Manager Wang Chuang and his team are monitoring the crisis. An official reports the rat tide is over 300,000 strong. Wang Chuang, looking grim, remarks it will be a devastating blow to the ecosystem. A subordinate shows a map of trapped ability users, lamenting that most will likely be devoured. Wang Chuang worries about Xu Jingming, thinking that unless his master, Yang Zhentian, intervenes, no one can save him if he's caught. Suddenly, a soldier spots a massive sphere of purple lightning on the monitors. Wang Chuang orders his troops to prepare to engage. A report comes in that the target is moving at 80 meters per second. The soldiers open fire, but their bullets are useless against the powerful energy barrier. Unleashing his full power, Xu Jingming, still in his demonic form, leaps high into the air with Jiang Chuxuan, soaring over the military blockade. He lands gracefully among the startled soldiers as his transformation fades. The soldiers are left in stunned silence. One exclaims he thought the approaching energy was a lightning beast, not a person. Another remarks on the man's terrifying aura, while a third finds the girl's silhouette strangely familiar. Now back in his normal form, shirtless and exhausted, Xu Jingming tells Jiang Chuxuan they have reached the supply base and are safe. A relieved Jiang Chuxuan holds his arm, thanking him. Just then, Manager Wang Chuang rushes over. Recognizing Xu Jingming, he asks if he can help after his escape. Xu Jingming explains he ran for over 40 minutes from the mountain area and is exhausted, asking only for a room to rest. Internally, Wang Chuang is astounded, knowing the mountains are over 90 kilometers away. He thinks even a 4th-tier ability user would struggle to break through the horde from such a distance. Eager to help, Wang Chuang offers to arrange a room, but Jiang Chuxuan steps in, stating she will take care of him. As she supports the weary Xu Jingming, nearby soldiers begin to gossip. They recognize her as Goddess Jiang and comment on how lucky the young man is. They speculate about their relationship, with one soldier lamenting that his goddess has been stolen. 2 full days and nights later, Xu Jingming finally awakens in a comfortable bed. He finds Jiang Chuxuan by his side, who greets him with a cheerful smile. She tells him he has been asleep for a long time and she was about to give him some Earth Spirit Spring to help him recover. Surprised he slept so long, Xu Jingming asks about the wilderness. Jiang Chuxuan informs him the rat tide has not yet receded, so the area is under lockdown. She adds that after it's over, there will likely be very few beasts left. Realizing there is no reason to stay, Xu Jingming decides to return to the university. As the semester is about to begin, Hearing this, Jiang Chuxuan says she is also going back and suggests they travel together. Xu Jingming readily agrees. As they are making plans, Jiang Chuxuan remembers something she promised. She presents him with the autographed picture he had asked for. To Xu Jingming's complete surprise, the photo shows her posing suggestively in revealing lingerie, a far cry from what he had expected. Flustered by the revealing photo, a blushing Xu Jingming explains to Jiang Chuxuan that he was asking for it on behalf of a friend, suggesting this one might be too inappropriate and asking for a more ordinary one. Jiang Chuxuan is surprised, realizing she misunderstood his intentions. Internally, Jiang Chuxuan is mortified, scolding herself for assuming he was interested in her. Flustered, she offers to give him a new photo and asks for the revealing one back. However, Xu Jingming looks down at the picture and shyly asks if he could keep it for himself, which surprises her. A pleased smile spreads across her face as she tells him of course he can. Trying to change the subject, a flustered Xu Jingming says that since he's been asleep for 2 days, he needs to book a train ticket for their return. Jiang Chuxuan dismisses the idea of a train, explaining that she drove her car and offers to give him a ride back with her. Later, they drive back in a stylish yellow convertible sports car. As they travel, Xu Jingming remarks that only a major online celebrity like her would own such a limited edition car and notes it's his first time in a self-driving vehicle. Jiang Chuxuan casually explains it is simple to manage. They soon arrive back at the Modu Superpower University campus. Having changed into casual clothes, they get out of the car, and Xu Jingming now carries his spear on his shoulder. Their arrival doesn't go unnoticed, as students admire Xu Jingming's handsome appearance, but lament that he seems to have an equally beautiful girlfriend. Walking through campus, Xu Jingming reflects on how much his strength has changed in the month and a half he has been away. Jiang Chuxuan asks which district his dorm is in. He tells her District 3. Since she lives in District 2, she suggests they should part ways there. Before they leave, Jiang Chuxuan tells Xu Jingming not to hesitate to ask if he ever needs anything. He agrees. Just as they are about to part, Jiang Chuxuan quickly steps forward, surprising Xu Jingming. She leans in and gives him a quick kiss on the cheek. With a playful smile, she tells him it is a small thank you for saving her life. She then waves goodbye and walks away, leaving a blushing Xu Jingming behind. He touches his cheek, still processing the gesture, and thinks to himself that he was just forcefully kissed. Later, in her luxurious dorm, Jiang Chuxuan sits on her bed, thinking someone as powerful as Xu Jingming can't be unknown. Deciding to investigate, she opens her laptop to search for his information. She muses that all the recent campus buzz is about freshmen. Soon, she finds his detailed file. As she reads, her expression turns to pure shock. She discovers Xu Jingming is a freshman, an upper-tier second-rank user. With a pout, she realizes she has been calling him senior the entire time and calls him a big liar. She playfully vows to tease her junior brother next time they meet. Meanwhile, back in his dorm, Xu Jingming reviews his gains from the trip. He completed his missions, acquired 2 space rings, and now has over 25 million in his bank account. He regrets that the rat tide cut his hunt short, preventing him from collecting more ability points. His system panel confirms his new status as an upper second-tier user with an S-rank ability, and he has 3,712 ability points. He feels confident this is enough to learn powerful S-rank combat techniques. His thoughts are interrupted as his roommate, Liu Wentao, bursts into the room. He exclaims that Xu Jingming is finally back and scolds him for not giving a heads up, saying he was worried after hearing about the rat tide. Xu Jingming confirms the tide happened but assures him the military is now handling it. As he speaks, Liu Wentao suddenly senses a change in his roommate's aura. His eyes widen in shock as he realizes Xu Jingming has broken through to the second tier. Xu Jingming calmly corrects him, stating he is an upper second tier user now. Liu Wentao is amazed. Xu Jingming explains he had a few near-death encounters but was lucky enough to survive and achieve a breakthrough. Liu Wentao is impressed, saying Xu Jingming is no ordinary person and wonders if he should also try a life-or-death situation to get stronger. Xu Jingming immediately advises against it, telling his friend his situation was special and the wilderness is too dangerous for him. Liu Wentao agrees not to go, then remembers something important. He tells Xu Jingming that Song Chu-Q came looking for him several times and suggests he should contact her. Xu Jingming says he will, then remembers the gift he brought back. He hands the autographed photo to a confused Liu Wentao. A moment later, Liu Wentao's confusion turns to pure ecstasy. His eyes turn into hearts as he stares at the photo of Goddess Jiang, and he lets out a scream of pure joy. Back at the university, Xu Jingming goes to the Battle Technique Library. He reflects that the 4 missions he completed earned him 871 credits, a fast way to accumulate them. Sitting at a desk, he summons the AI, Eva, and tells it to display all available S-rank lightning combat techniques. Instantly, holographic displays appear, showing powerful skills. He sees techniques like Thunder Mark, which inflicts massive lightning damage, and Thunder Prison, which creates an unbreakable lightning barrier. As he browses, he is surprised that a top-tier school like MANHWA University only has just over 20 S-rank lightning techniques. Knowing these skills are crucial for his future, he resolves to choose carefully. He continues sifting through the options, eventually focusing on two: Heavenly Thunder Art, a ranged ability that summons natural lightning, and Thunder Armor, a defensive skill that creates a shield. He decides they are a perfect combination of long-range offense and defense. While a normal person might have to specialize, Xu Jingming smirks, thinking that with his cheat system, he can simply take them all. He discovers Heavenly Thunder Art is a prerequisite for a more powerful SSS rank technique called Myriad Heavenly Thunder Guide. He begins studying the manual and is struck by its complexity, finding it even more intricate than his Thunder Indestructible Body technique. The difficult content makes him sweat, and he thinks it's harder than understanding professional literature during his doctoral studies in his past life. After 6 long hours of intense study, an exhausted Xu Jingming slumps over his desk. He sighs, having finally gained a basic understanding. He decides that's enough manual effort, and it's time for his system to take over. He clenches his fist and calls out to his system, Deep Blue, commanding it to add the points to master the skill. A massive surge of purple lightning erupts from him as the system instantly integrates the knowledge into his mind and body. The process is successful, but he is stunned by the cost. Upgrading one S-rank technique to the elementary level required a staggering 1,600 ability points. He can't believe all the points he worked so hard to earn are only enough for these 2 skills. Just then, Eva floats over, reminding him it is 1 in the morning and he should use his time wisely. It also warns him not to use superpowers in the library. A bit sheepish, Xu Jingming agrees. Realizing it's too late to start the second, equally time-consuming technique, he decides to come back another time. On the MANHWA University campus, a young man jogs past a girl on a late-night run. The girl is Song Chu-kyu, and as she runs, she reflects on her intense training regimen. For over a month, she has been pushing herself to train late, a dedication that surprises even her. She is determined to challenge Xu Jingming when he returns, vowing to show him that she is the true #1 freshman. Her training is interrupted when she spots a large bird silhouetted against the full moon. It is a massive, menacing creature with red eyes, which she identifies as a white-ringed black feather eagle. She analyzes the threat, noting the eagle uses speed and camouflage to hunt in cities. She estimates it to be around the 3rd tier and concludes it would be a very difficult opponent. Suddenly, a loud noise from above startles her. She looks up, confused to hear thunder with no clouds in the sky. A moment later, a massive sphere of purple lightning materializes and explodes in the night sky, striking the eagle and tearing it to pieces in a shower of blood and feathers. Staring in disbelief at the raw power, Song Chu-kyu wonders which high-level lightning user could have destroyed the beast so effortlessly. Given the distance, she realizes the attack must have come from within the campus. She speculates it must have been a powerful senior student or a university mentor. The scene reveals the true source of the attack. Xu Jingming, standing in a secluded wooded area, surrounded by the crackling remnants of his power. A confident smirk is on his lips as purple lightning swirls around him. He reflects on his test, thinking that even this small demonstration shows the astonishing power of his new S-rank combat technique, the Heavenly Thunder Art.